What up, people? You're listening to the Atlanta podcast, where we drink local beer and invite you into our unfiltered talks on news and culture in the city of Atlanta. Now, when I say unfiltered, I mean...
He's trying to say we say fuck a lot.
Yeah, it's rated R for, ribbed for your pleasure.
Oh. Nigga.
You like
no
it, right?
lube, bro?
No? Too much?
All right.
Run it back.
Enjoy the show. What up, people? Welcome to the Atlanta podcast. It's your boy Christian,
Justin,
And Myron.
and
You need a drink.
nah, it's just been a long day. It's been a
Shit, man.
long
Y'all went in last
I
night.
didn't do shit today. Yesterday was a real nigga
in
birthday.
an empty apartment.
It was?
Yeah. Shit. Sorry. Let me just synergize. I need the incense.
Oh, your chakras need to be in line, bro.
Incense. That it is.
Oh, you burn incense like that too?
No, Dres bought
incense,
and
we're just like, oh,
he
shit,
brought a
this is
grown
much
man
better.
in.
Dres brought his own incense?
that shit was
like
this
this
long.
long.
We were
You
like,
didn't have a
what
big lighter,
the
then you could
fuck?
light it.
No, he didn't have the big lighter with him.
Nah, he didn't have that shit.
And that shit smelled good and set the mood, and then it just started smoking, and it was like all of our eyes were getting water.
I'm telling you, my chakras were in line, it was all...
For a minute.
I was like, damn.
For a minute.
And we're talking about stuff going on in Atlanta. Listeners, we're in the beer basement recording on Tuesday, July 7th. And for our 100th episode, we had to make sure we had some guests with a certain type of influence. Ladies and gentlemen,
See what you did there.
Bem Joyner and Tory Edwards of AIE, Atlanta Influences Everything. Appreciate it.
Finally, we got y'all.
100th episode, yo.
100.
This is dope, yo. Thank y'all for this.
100.
Oh yeah,
This is dope.
I didn't either. I just counted recently. I was like, oh shit. We in triple digits
So
now.
it's special, but kind of not special.
Yeah, no,
It's special by accident.
Extremely special.
Extra.
Thank you, man.
First, before every episode, we like to crack open a local beer to enjoy and discuss with our jack of all drafts, Myron. So, Myron, what we got on tap?
So we're gonna be drinking a few beers tonight.
Let's
feel
go,
like we need
100.
to.
Do it.
But for Blackout Tuesday, we got to go black on.
dope.
So we got one that we've had before. The homies from Down Home Brewing. They've been on here a couple times. We got their downright hazy IPA popped off right quick. So let's go ahead and crack that open.
Let's go.
Have y'all had anything from Down Home?
Yeah, what's the can? It's like a white, and he on the inner tube.
Oh, yeah.
That's Chris's.
Shooting the hooch.
Yep.
Yeah. Maurice Garland gave me that beer.
Delicious.
So yeah, I believe Chris said that was his grandfather.
That image is
Okay.
his grandfather.
Right.
That's who he got his first beer from.
Okay.
So he likes to pay homage to him with the image of his grandfather.
And isn't this in stores, like for real? For real?
Yeah. So they distro in and around Atlanta. So this is for listeners who may not have.
You can even get them at Target right now. Target said,
hell
please
yeah.
don't knock us over anymore.
Like,
Look, y'all
got
fucked up enough of
black
our
products.
stores. Look, we'll sell it.
we were just watching the face mask lady. Did you?
Shit, yeah, I
Yo,
saw that,
Rainbow
man.
went to that.
I saw that shit.
$40,000 Rolex chick.
What?
That was insane.
She
Tell
wild.
me, what's going on?
She just went and destroyed a.
They're calling her QAnon Karen. You ever heard of QAnon? It's
What's
like
QAnon?
It's like a conspiracy theory group. They're real deep. They go, super deep. But I think they support Trump as well.
Of course.
So she goes in Target and she's just like, I've been waiting to do this, some shit. And then she's like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this shit. Tired of this shit. She started knocking the mask down.
Yeah, she went in attack.
Oh.
So when
She lost it.
So when the people come to stop her, she's like, "Why are you bothering me? You let everybody else do it because I'm a blonde white woman." Basically,
she checked him on
Rolex.
She checked him on her privilege. She was like, you're supposed to do. You're supposed to let me do this shit.
Right.
Come on now.
Been letting the blacks do it.
Yeah, I'm expressing myself.
And then the police came to her house to lock her up. And she told the police that Donald Trump sent her to go through it.
What?
She said, "You don't believe me? You can call him." And then the officer said, he said, well, I don't have his number. And she was dead serious. She said, well, that's your fucking problem.
I was like, did she pull out the White House number? I don't.
Wow.
Like, she bucked on him.
Only a white woman can say that to me.
That's why people
Facts. So that's why we drinking black today, or at least this first one.
I can't even tell a police officer about one of his problems that's actually his problem. If it's actually his problem, I can say, well, that's your fucking problem.
Yeah.
I might get my head split.
Real quick,
They're like, it's bullying your ass is your problem.
What y'all think about this?
Oh, yeah, I had it. I already slate.
I think T.I.'s winning that.
What is that you showing?
Oh, 50 versus T.I.?
T.I. said, let's go.
T.I.
Like against 50 Cent for the verses, which been going on.
My political alignment, I can't.
You from up north?
Doesn't matter.
A little bit.
Yeah, but
Atlanta transplant.
I got more ties to Tip. Like,
So you saying T.I.
And it's not personal.
More-
We can not
it's not
personalize
personal,
it and just
but-
go hit for hit.
I do.
Hit for hit, I think T.I. is crushing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent a lot of time working with Grand Hustle and got a lot of friends over there. But I'm just gonna.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
I think.
Humble brag?
Nah.
Just facts.
Definitely not.
Just facts.
Yeah, I got it.
It is what it is.
I've been around.
Okay. Well, guys, it's time for that game we all love to play.
Let's go.
Guess the
We good.
race.
We good since y'all wanted to start over. Yeah.
Started it over. We're 100%.
We bat 1,000 right now.
We're back.
We bat 1,000. Let's go.
We normally like to kick off conversation with a friendly game called Guess the Race. I will read a local crime story, and you, along with Justin, Myron, and Bem and Tory, will guess the race of the culprit without being provided the name. You ready? We're going way west of Atlanta.
I got a question
Go ahead.
before we get started.
Yes.
Are we actually guessing the races, or are there options? Is it A?
No, you guess.
You
So it's
gotta
a flat
get
guess.
off,
Yeah.
off
Yeah,
of your
I'll give you the
own
options, all of them.
biases. And
Is anything.
you have to come up with what you think this is.
I've already dug myself in deep. I was talking shit prior to this. See, I thought there were options.
Nah.
we gotta go.
Still
It's off of how you grew up and what you think.
Oh, damn.
Okay, here we go.
Boy,
Here we
I'm
go.
about to lose some friends.
We're going way west of Atlanta, so this is Tallapoosa. Y'all know where that's
Shit.
That sounds like
Vaguely
a
heard of it.
I've heard of
Alabama?
Tallapoosa.
at? It's
No, it's in Georgia.
between here and Birmingham.
Okay,
This
cool.
is basically.
Okay.
The halfway point. Low key.
So basically,
Yeah. A Georgia Superior Court judge was arrested Friday by the GBI and charged with one misdemeanor count of battery.
Oh.
it's
The
white.
judge
Yeah,
who
right. I was like,
I was like, yeah, Georgia judge.
Nah, hold on.
that's a open and shut case, Johnson.
That's a white.
Moving on.
The judge who resides in
Hope you got
Tallapoosa was arrested on charges stemming from a February incident of physical domestic abuse. After a months-long investigation, the judge was charged under the Georgia Family Violence Act. The GBI began its investigation at the request of the Haralson County Sheriff's Office on February 18th. The Sheriff's Office received a call the day before about allegations that the judge had hit his wife.
The crime isn't what's telling here. It's the
location?
fact that he's in Tallapoosa and he's a fucking judge.
Big
Yeah.
No black
Yeah.
man about to
Yeah.
do it.
A Georgia judge. I knew what it was.
Judge,
I agree with you 100%. Although the crime low key still is leading towards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's like some pertinent information still left.
Yeah. But go ahead.
In the course of its investigation, the GBI said it found that the judge's wife had contacted a friend in Bremerton, Washington,
Bremerton?
It's still white.
That's also
How we
and
going
told
white.
her that the judge had hit her multiple times during an argument. She also sent a friend photos of her face and showed bruises and scratching. According to the GBI, the argument started when the judge got upset that his stepson was playing games on his phone rather than doing chores. That's the punchline. I didn't mean I don't mean it like that, but
It will.
the incident also involved another minor child and took place in the judge's home. After making the arrest, the GBI declared the investigation complete. The case has been submitted to the Tallapoosa Judicial Circuit District Attorney's Office for prosecution. Guess the race of the judge.
A whole white.
Yeah, it's white. The call to Bremen, Washington. Just
He's that mayonnaise aioli is too spicy white. That's a
good way to put it.
That's what type of white he is, for sure. And here's another thing. So his wife called a friend. They didn't say whether that friend was male or female. I'm assuming female. But I'm just like, I feel like if they happen to be black, where they are, that's hella country, right? So if a black woman called and said her man was somebody's riding out on him, right? Fam is coming. Quick fam. So yeah, we definitely going white.
Tallapoosa, fam come quick.
Yeah,
they come quick.
Are we right?
Let's get
the
the name.
name is.
Here we go.
Mang Lim.
He's Asian. Oh, you fucked us with
White adjacent.
Yeah. We just had this conversation. White adjacent.
They on team white.
Let's see the picture. Where the picture at? We gotta post the picture.
I don't have a picture. He's mad.
Mang Lim, huh?
You gotta be judge to not be.
He has ties to Atlanta a little bit. He is the first Asian American Superior Court judge in Georgia. He was elected in 2014 and sworn in at the beginning of 2015. He is in his second term as the Chief Superior Court Judge of the Tallapoosa Judicial Circuit in the 7th Superior Court District of Georgia.
So he fits right in.
Yeah. Prior to immigrating to the U.S., Lim and his family were Cambodian refugees living in China.
He's the bottom. Yo, if you see Cambodians, bro,
he's going like this.
I just said, if you Southeast Asian or Korean,
them Cambodian noses look just like ours, bro.
Blacks.
They just like ours.
They found visa sponsorship through Jewish Family and Career Services of Atlanta and settled in Bremen. Lim graduated as valedictorian of Bremen High School and went on to get a bachelor's degree in history from Emory University.
Oh, yeah.
And a Juris Doctor degree from Mercer University. Prior to his election as a Superior Court judge, he had a private law practice in Haralson County. Lim was released from the Haralson County jail on Thursday on a $1,000 bond.
$1,000? He white for real.
Yeah.
I was about to say, he's back white.
Damn. You know how much that shit would have been if it was me, bro? Like $500,000.
You ain't getting no bond, nigga.
I might not get one.
So his wife is Cambodian too.
Well,
we don't know that.
That it didn't say anything. I didn't look into that because he was talking. He said stepson.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
So
Yeah.
married a white woman.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. It don't
You're
matter.
not successful.
You gonna take that?
Right.
All right. So let's get
And when you get on, you leave your ass for. No, there you go.
I'm leaning white on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
On paper, man. He's until you
white.
If you
He's
can
white.
just skip over Cambodia,
Yeah.
he's white.
The nigga's still white.
Okay, y'all won. Y'all won. Congratulations.
There he goes.
Now, let's talk about the subject. Atlanta influences everything. How did you start Atlanta Influences Everything? Or more importantly, what is Atlanta Influences Everything?
Okay.
You want to do what is?
I mean, we can both answer both.
Y'all figure it out. I'll edit it however you want.
Yeah, I think we have a. I'll probably say something, and Bame will probably pick up where I leave off, and vice versa. To me, Atlanta Influences Everything. On paper, it's a consultancy.
Okay.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, it is a consultancy. We had a number of clients that people probably wouldn't think that we would have, but we consult. And it's really all about connecting communities and connectivity. But it's what we use. You know what? Bame, I'll let you explain that. Bame, I'll step out the way. I'll let him have that.
Well, I'll go with how it started and then it'll go into what it is. Our other partner, Ian Ford, he and I were 2014, 2015. This was around the time when Detroit versus everybody just had that energy.
Yeah. I remember that.
And Atlanta had started its film and entertainment office in the mayor's office with LaRonda Sutton. You know, the city has always had this weird relationship with the state on the push and pull of who runs what.
Right.
And so at the end, when movies are filmed in Georgia, you know, there's the peach at the end. Well, that's the Georgia peach. So what Atlanta wanted to do was there was this idea of developing its own logo for movies like Baby Driver, which I think was filmed in Atlanta proper exclusively.
Yeah. Right.
So all the movies that were filmed in Atlanta proper would be another logo too, to like kind of brand Atlanta.
Right.
So she had this group. We were part of this group, Fly from
Think It's a Gang.
Yeah,
TIG.
Think It's a Gang. He was
Shout out
part
to
of
Fly.
this
That's my brother.
group too. And we were just trying to come up with ways to brand Atlanta and come up with some sort of slogan. So Ian and I were already talking about that, but nothing was sticking. Everything that was coming was kind of corny. And the more you realize about Atlanta, you can't make it be something. It has to naturally come to you what this energy is here.
Right.
Do you remember the corniest one?
What, the Every Day's Opening Day or what? Or,
No, like the versions of.
Nah, I can't remember. And Ian is from Brooklyn. Morehouse, but he's from Brooklyn. He might have said a couple things.
Morehouse changes people.
Yeah, you know,
Morehouse definitely changes.
but he said a couple things where I'm from the West End. It wasn't landing all the way, but I saw where he was going.
Ain't it.
So we just always had that in mind. And then months later, our friend Chaos was working at Nike and was working on that 1996 Olympic shoe, the Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Right.
And when he showed us the designs and told us that they were coming out with it, we started, because Tory has a background in content. Ian and I have a background in marketing and branding, kind of experiential marketing, guerrilla stuff. So we had come up with just like this dope idea to do a scavenger hunt around the shoe. Yeah. And it would end at Centennial Park and just all type. And the idea came because we saw cool activations that Nike had done for Jordan 1s in Chicago. And so when we pitched to Nike, they didn't.
What year was this?
This was going into 2015 because the shoe came out 2016. Nike didn't accept the idea, and then that's when they told us that they didn't really have a marketing idea for the shoe. They were going to release 1,996 pair. That was the marketing, but there wasn't anything else. And so I'm like, damn, why won't y'all spend any money in the market? And then that's when it came out that they didn't view Atlanta as a top tier market.
Which is crazy to think about.
So they started,
Especially retrospect,
they
right?
started explaining why, and some of the reasons, like where the bean is in Chicago is always people moving. And we don't have, with no more underground Atlanta per se, where's there always a consistent, diverse mix of people kind of outside. And the stuff that they were saying was logistical and somewhat infrastructural reasons why.
Yeah.
And that was unacceptable to me because I had just recently seen Nike commercials where they were doing Atlanta dance. And now we're going into the time where everybody and their mama was dabbing. Yeah. And so you could hear the music, you could feel the vibe. It's like, yo, that's Atlanta.
Right.
But Nike they weren't assessing that as Atlanta. What I realized, they were assessing it as urban culture. They weren't identifying it with Atlanta. And so I just got frustrated and yelled out in the phone, we don't have all of those things. Okay, whatever. But all I can tell you, man, Atlanta, man, we influence everything, though. Right. And Ian heard it and was like, yo, I think that's the saying. I think that's the shirt. I think that's our Detroit versus everything. He like, man, I'm from Brooklyn, and we got a lot of pride. You go anywhere in the world, you'd be like, is it Brooklyn in the house? And
Man,
folks.
Brooklyn niggas be different.
New York cats that come down here, I was like, you living out here? He's like, hey, well, no. I was like, why are you down here, though? You get all of that. You get all that mouth or whatever. Go home then, fam. Like, come on.
But there are people like Ian and Tory and others that are from up north. They gladly will say why they are here and how much they love it. And Ian's
sidewalks.
Yeah. Backyards and but Ian said that what he felt that Atlanta's love seemed to be internal, where Brooklyn was so boisterous, and that our narrative, nobody knew that we influenced everything.
True.
That's what made it so dope to jump out there and say it. And Tory's going to jump in, but I wanted to say where I got frustrated, where I was angry at Nike for not realizing that the civic part of us and the work that we were already doing. I also found out that the Atlanta Convention and Visitors Bureau and those that are in charge of selling Atlanta and telling the narrative, they weren't saying that Atlanta influenced everything. So how could I be mad at Nike and everybody else for not, when we weren't
like when they
really,
when they go through their avenues, they don't see that. They just like, okay.
Yeah, and that would be on us.
Right,
like
right.
We aren't, so yeah, that's kind of where the energy came from.
Yeah, and I think at that point, Ian and Bame had printed up around the shirts, and I bought one. Now, I work in film and television, but I'm also...
We were already friends.
Yeah.
Everybody was cool.
It wasn't like we had years relationships, we had been known each other for some years. And I saw the shirt. I bought it just to kind of support it, but, I was seeing how they were moving, and I just thought that I could bring something to the table. At the time, Bame had a lot going on. Ian was going through some things, and I just felt like I could bring something to the table.
Yeah.
And I did. I had a conversation with Ian one day. We sat down at a coffee spot, and I just gave him my view of it, how I saw Atlanta influences everything. Like I saw it then, and I still see it as Atlanta. I felt like stories were gonna. People who come here and the people who were born here felt like their stories were going to be enough to sell people on the fact that Atlanta influences everything.
Oh, for
because
sure.
guess what? As proud as the person from Brooklyn is, fam, you can't do what you're doing in Brooklyn.
Not at all.
What you're doing here is
17
impossible.
regulations.
Like, if you live in New York City, you got to have access to money or know somebody with money to put you on. Atlanta, you can come here with a plan and become whatever you want. So aside from just obvious pop culture and television and movies and music and dancing and all that shit, Atlanta can influence your life. It can influence, answer so many questions. Like, what we want to do is take the culture and be able to use the culture, Atlanta culture or black culture, the influence that it have to solve problems. Like, his big thing for years was income inequality. And it's still a problem because it's so bad here in Atlanta. It's like, how come we're not utilizing that culture to solve our own problems? So that's what we've kind of took on as a mission, to be able to step up to the plate and bring the culture with us to solve these problems. But long story short is, when I jumped in to Atlanta Influences Everything, I started hustling it, just from my background. From just being a filmmaker. I used to be a party promoter.
You was promoting in these streets, man.
Oh, yeah,
like you were saying, like the guerrilla tactics,
I took it back. And even now, like, some of the stuff I wanted to do just on a guerrilla promotion level, I haven't been able to do because of COVID. But we really was going to get stupid this year and really take it back some years and get back to the basics of promoting it, street promotion and stuff like that. We haven't even scratched the surface, but, I started I was working on a television show called The Originals at the time. So
this the vampire joint.
Yeah, I worked over there for 3 seasons. And I just started giving them to people. And then when people started asking about them, I'm like, well, you got to buy it. But for the most part, I gave them away. And honestly, it was a lot.
You was giving jewels away for free?
I was giving shirts away, but it was. Hey! Yeah. Oh, by the way, I did bring y'all some shirts. I don't know what size you guys wear.
I'm a big nigga. Hold up.
You got extra large?
Yes.
This nigga
Extra
ain't.
large.
Y'all see this nigga? This nigga ain't big.
I'm the big one.
No, but like
Can you wear large?
I thought, shoot, probably
He gonna
now.
tell you he a medium, but he a large.
Probably after COVID. Probably after COVID, large.
2X?
There we go. You got it right. You got it all right.
But I'm sorry, I didn't bring you the regular one. I bought you the spider one.
Oh no, that's
Oh, the small wheels.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Shoot.
Oh, we gotta get video.
Yeah. Man, my wife already told me, she was like, so when they come through, if they give you shirts, I'm stealing yours, right? I was like,
No.
she said this.
Give us her size, and we have a new design called the Peach A. That's really more. It's more for women.
Yeah.
But
My wife's from Decatur, so I mean, she.
oh yeah, she'll
Yeah.
love this shirt. We gonna
Yeah.
we got one for her. Don't worry about it. So I started just giving them out, and then my homeboy hit me up. I think one of the benchmarks for me was my homeboy Snake hit me up. Snake
His name
is
was Snake?
yeah, his name is Snake.
Solid Snake.
His name
Liquid
is
Snake.
It's not his name, but Snake is from East Atlanta. He's a road manager, so he road managed for Gucci, Tip, Young Thug, a bunch of people.
Speaking
So-
of Gucci, shout out to the hat though.
Oh yeah,
This
these are
shit-
stuff we did just for the crew. But
that
this is
shit,
our,
I need that.
These are Gucci Braves
shit is
hats.
dope.
That's just
Burr
fire.
with the Braves letter.
Bruh. So for you listeners, so Tory got on the hat. It got the I'm buying
trouble.
I'm buying it as we speak.
Good trouble. What?
So it's the Atlanta Screaming Indian, but it's Gucci's face, with the gold fronts. One side got Burr on it in the whole Braves font.
Braves
already
font.
like that.
Yeah.
It says Burr in the Braves font, and
Right.
on the other side it says everything is Gucci in Atlanta.
And then it got the tomahawk under it, man.
Yeah, it's hard. We only made a couple for the crew, but
That's dope.
we've been
Oh,
thinking
I'm about
like,
to
should we sell these?
I'm about to say, I'm about to jump online right now.
No,
Credit-
they're not even on the site. We
Cash
got a
App ready.
couple.
Cash App ready, man.
Oh, that's an exclusive.
Yeah, we only did a couple for the crew, man. But we was like, should we sell these? Nah,
It's tough right now, yo.
Yeah, but and it's funny because going back to Snake works for. Well, he doesn't work for Gucci, but he's really tight with Gucci. He's been his road manager on and off, and he does road management for a bunch of people. So Snake hit me up and was like, "Yo, I need some of that." And so I dropped the bag off with Snake. Him and Amina, Gucci's manager, a bunch of people over there. So I just dropped the bag off with him, and he rocked it. But then we got a Shopify we got a purchase, like a big purchase from Jaylen Brown from the Celtics.
Oh yeah.
But it's like we saw the name, but it's just like, I'm not the super sports guy anyway.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's no big deal.
He's low key important though.
Oh yeah,
He's about to
definitely.
be the man.
To them.
But what happened was Jaylen bought the stuff. He saw Snake with it. That's what happened. He saw Snake because him and Snake are like, this Snake is like
Yeah.
an uncle to him.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's like, yo, Unc, where you get that from? And he was like, Atlanta influenced everything. This is my fault.
Hey.
So Jaylen immediately went online and bought a bunch of stuff. And then the night that they were in the playoffs, they were playing LeBron. He wore it on ESPN when they interviewed him. And a couple other guys from the team. And I'm asleep. I don't know this shit is going on. The next morning I wake up, I got like 30 texts. Like, yo, yeah. People sending me screenshots. I'm like, oh shit. That's when it started, in my opinion, that's when it started to break ground. People started to say, what is that?
And so,
it still hasn't scratched.
It's so powerful. Like not only the name, the phrase, and the actual movement, but you see it. You see it coming alive. That story right then. It's just like people across the country, across the world, they at least have a story of coming through Atlanta.
Right.
If not moving to here, visiting the airport, something crazy happened, a cousin,
a grandma.
a friend, right. And it's just like, you see something, it's like, damn, like, that shit was hot. You heard this, you saw this, you ate this, whatever. And it's like, where's that? Oh, I mean, shit, that was on, that's on Ponce, that's on
Right.
Edgewood, that's on
All the
whatever.
time, like
Where's that? That shit. Atlanta. You know.
How'd y'all feel about when you saw? Did y'all see Ludacris in the battle with Nelly, the versus battle? He had the shirt on.
He did.
I was just like, oh
I know
snap!
they called me for that.
He had it on. He was just like chilling.
He had
skin
to.
popping.
Right.
Looking
Yeah,
all
$1 million.
black.
No, we didn't know he was gonna stand up and do the
He
whole.
had the
little
whole thing like.
spiel.
I didn't know that was
And that was that he went back to Chris Lover days.
He
man.
was
That man,
With the pick?
Right.
He had the pick.
Oh, he was ready.
with the
Right.
fro.
But it was like I got a call from Shaka Zulu, and he was like, "Yo,
oh,
yeah, I know Shaka for a long time, but he hit me up and was like, yo, what's up with the, some AIE stuff?" I'm like, well, what you need?
really? That's what's up.
Well, he said Chris wanted to wear it, but he was like, yo, we gotta really let them know that it's not just Chris. It's not just Luda, it's the whole city going against St. Louis. Like we got to rep for the city. He said it's.
I was torn.
Yeah.
Shut your ass up.
No, that's how he said they
was torn.
They had. He said he felt like he had to let
Look,
them know.
I've been going down, baby. Whoop.
No,
You didn't even sound right, man.
But you know what?
You look like you've been getting your eagle on.
The Atlanta.
I dropped down.
Don't drop down.
I dropped down.
But no, I'm not. It's
Rest
not
in peace
it's
to
not a
Huey.
brag.
Oh, for sure.
It's just, like, people that I'm just cool with. But I'll be honest with you, I thought he got the stuff and decided to go in another direction because when he came on, he didn't have it on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe he just didn't decide to wear it. But when he did,
Nah, my man went through costume changes
Yeah,
right
we didn't
now.
realize he was doing. We didn't know
Tell
he was
him
doing
to,
changes.
Luda killed
Tell him to
it.
Joe
And shout out
Budden.
to Luda.
The Joe Budden shout out when Joe Budden broke it down.
What do you do? What do you do?
It's the difference between the Atlanta mindset currently and the St. Louis mindset.
Yeah.
Like the approach to the battle.
Yeah, he just felt like Luda wasn't bullshitting. He said
Luda was ready
Like
to win.
Luda came. He said, "Yo, he had everything. Every hair was not one hair out of place. He
said that.
The Gucci link.
Fam, the afro.
Yeah.
He
It
literally
was
had.
immaculate.
Then he started
literally
talking
had
about
that.
Nelly.
He said
He was
the
like
Atlanta
Nelly had on the wife beater. Like he
Nelly was happy
understand
to be
the
there.
gravity of the moment. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what though? Let me tell you something. Let me say this. That is the Atlanta way.
Yep.
You understand?
When it's
Like,
time
I've
to
been
go.
like people. You could pull that transplant shit with whoever you want to. But I've been in here for a very long time.
Let's go.
When I got here, they was calling it A-Town. Motherfuckers was wearing duck hat and fucking duck hat.
That's throwback.
You can't talk to me any kind of way when it come about Atlanta because I've been there. But
That is
my
throwback.
thing is the Atlanta way is showmanship. Atlanta show up. You feel me? Like if you talk to anybody from back in the day, Atlanta was known for doing talent shows.
Yep.
And even when L.A. Reid and them came and they really opened the music business here, they was really about black excellence. You know what I'm saying? Now, so was Andre Harrell with Uptown, and shout out to Andre Harrell, rest in
R.I.P.
peace. But Babyface and L.A. Reid, when they came here and they opened up the business, they wanted people to have that thing. And Atlanta talent just is in the water.
Teddy Riley too.
You understand? So Luda came like Atlanta come. Like you can't play because Atlanta gonna show up.
Exactly.
Y'all seen 2 Chainz' new video?
Oh my God, it's amazing.
What's it called?
It's amazing. The devil.
Shout out to my brother Brian Barber.
Yes,
He
Brian Barber,
directed
who supports the fuck out of
who
us.
supports the fuck out of us.
Jesus.
Okay.
But I've known Brian since I first moved to Atlanta. That's my brother.
Was it the devil want to show up or the devil?
We gotta look at
Man.
Titty Boy joint.
Shit
Oh my
is
God,
amazing.
yo.
Hey,
Dealing with the
he gonna
protests?
he gonna look it up right quick,
But
but
he
I'm.
shows it from iPhone footage. It's amazing.
Oh word.
Yeah, it's amazing protest footage.
Amazing. Brian Barber's a fucking genius.
Y'all know the name of it?
I'm a crack open another beer while y'all.
2 Chainz devil.
So this is another beer. This of course we only drinking.
Damn, did we
you
drink
know
the
Georgia.
whole last one? 'Cause that one
Yeah,
was
you know that's
Those are gone. That was real.
That was the
yeah
Brooklyn.
that was right. That is, what's your palate, man? So
Get it local.
speaking of Decatur, this is a brewery in Decatur.
Okay.
3 Taverns Brewery.
Oh yeah, I've been to 3 taverns.
Yeah,
I
right.
love that can. That can is
Yo,
crazy.
can art is
Can art
ridiculous.
is
That looks
insane.
nuts.
So this is one of their sours from their sour series. This is a passion fruit and guava sour ale.
Oh,
Bro,
wow.
like we all know Atlanta heat, right? So this is like this perfect spring summer beer. You got the fruit, you got the freshness, the tartness in there. So and then again, like can art is
some thought,
is
man.
stupid. you see how much beer I drink?
Did you see? Did you see the refrigerator?
Take a picture.
Yeah.
What he
Looked in
opened
there.
that
Take a
bitch?
Yeah, and that's not even up, man. We got 3 fridges in this house, bro.
Yes.
Ain't no food in that one.
Nah,
That's
zero.
a beer refrigerator. Oh,
It's food.
A lot of carbs.
It's food for the heart.
he
For the
does
soul.
this shit.
Food for the heart, food for the soul.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're gonna. I'm definitely check out. I didn't know Chain had that.
2 Chainz videos.
Yo, these shits.
He ain't
Should've got water
He ain't the
glasses.
best at pouring. We
He ain't
figured
the
this
best at
out. He know the most
that bite.
about beer, but he ain't the best at pouring.
Yeah.
I'm saying
I was
this.
just about to comment on the
Yeah,
pouring
that's
skill.
fucked up.
Nah, these niggas don't know what the fuck they talking about.
All right, I'll pour the next. Hold on, let me pour
I
mine.
think he was gonna go over the
Let
side.
me pour mine. Let me show you.
So what these uneducated niggas don't know
Okay.
is that
Getting personal now.
two
Talk about my diploma.
two factors go into this, right? One, we got
Damn, that shit did really fuck up.
yeah, nigga. Oh, I wonder why.
Oh, shit. What's the name of this again?
I apologize.
Saporous.
Saporous.
I
Listen,
apologize.
Bite.
Yo, this shit is
Listen,
hella
I
good.
just took a sip of this Saporous. This shit is amazing.
Oh shit.
Yo, shout
You
out.
will get fucked up drinking Saporous because it does not taste like beer.
There's juice.
This is juice.
Shout out to Brian.
But it ain't
Brian out
sweet.
there.
Yo, Brian, you the man, dog.
That's the owner over there. It's 5%, so this is like you can crush.
We call it
You can crush it.
crushability. That's what we
Crush
call
a
it.
6-pack. It is easy.
Crushability.
That's
Look
refreshing.
at that. Yeah, Saporous. I'm
Yeah.
fucking with you.
So I mean, they got a whole sour series, the Asylum series, that has can art similar to this, but different fruits, whatever. It's all good, all good.
Shout out to
So shout out to them. They're over there in Decatur.
Switching gears just a little bit, can you tell us about MapMakers?
What can I say about MapMakers? I'm a content creator. So honestly, MapMakers wasn't supposed to be a company, but it is. It was just an idea, pretty much. Like MapMakers was an idea because I believe that everybody has a design. Like I think everybody's kind of path is. It's kind of like those books where you can, you can choose. You have choices, and I
Choose
think,
your own path books.
Yeah,
I remember
you
those.
kind of.
Yeah, she's your own adventure. That
Always
shit's
died
I
at the
think.
end.
I think you're what you would call divine purpose.
Yeah,
I think there's only honestly a few choices that get you to divine purpose, but it's there for everybody. So you really have to make your own map. But really, what grabbed me, the word itself jumped out to me listening to the Common Beat album, and when he
Classic.
his father does a poem at the end. Rest in peace to his dad. I don't know him, but it was impactful for me. And I heard the poem, and I used to listen to it. And he said in the poem, he said, "Be a map maker, a cartographer." And I said, "Fucking right, man.
Hell yeah.
Make your
That's
own.
real shit.
Make a map. You make a map to whatever life that's truly meant for you. You just gotta. It's there. You just gotta access it. You gotta pull it up and create it."
So map maker is like
That's what a map
your
maker
your epitome of content creation.
Well, that's where it started. Like, I mean, when I started just using that name, I was just using it, creating content. That's.
But then dealing with friends, MapMakers did.
Oh yeah, well, I forgot about dinner with friends, and I shouldn't. I used to do a dinner series, which I'm bringing back, called Dinner with Friends. It kind of started where I threw a birthday party for a young guy who used to work with me, and we just invited some friends. But I went to a dinner party one time, me and his cousin. It was a lady chef who threw it at her apartment, and the concept was dope, but it just had it really didn't have no swag. It didn't have no drip. It wasn't dope. And I was like, this shit'll be dope. And I called a friend of mine, and we talked. It was Coach K. Matter of fact, I called him.
Shit.
See, don't do
You just
that.
be name dropping like it's all
Please
good.
don't.
Drop it.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, but
Important ass names like it's like
but
it was
they-
Jake.
It is to him.
Yeah, I don't, and I'm not even trying to be funny because none of that shit matters to me.
I feel you.
Like it's real. It's just
It is what it is.
Kev. You know,
You just got deep roots in Atlanta, right?
yeah, like that's my man.
He's
Like,
like, I've been here. And
and I'm not even being funny. It's just, and I don't say it in a bragging way. It's like, he's just my man, you know. So, and he supports us. But we happened to talk, and he was like, "Yo, this would be dope." And then he was nowhere to be found when I started doing it, which is him, which classic Coach. And I started doing it, but I would invite people. I call like him, call Bame, I call Chaos, Jason Jeter, I call Hannah Kang, Keithann, Johnson, friends of mine. And there's a bunch of friends that I never got a chance to call because I'm just like seeing people on Instagram. Oh, fuck it, I'll just call him. And people call, will
That's how
come.
guest list work. You just
And it started where we started. What it was just it morphed into like a get together to roundtable conversation, and I always knew from the very start that it was going to be content. So I shot like one season of it with my own money. During that season, I had a lot of guests that came through, like my man KP, Kwan Pratha, Shaka Zulu, Bem Joyner, Fahamu,
Speaker Fox.
Rest in peace.
Speaker
Oh,
Fox.
of course, yeah. Rest in peace,
really?
DJ Speaker Fox. She sat next to Coach K.
Kwanzaa Hall, Andre Dickens.
Andre Dickens,
Kwanzaa Hall stories,
DJ
right.
Drama, Killer Mike, Daddy-O from Stetson.
How many did you shoot?
I don't know,
Sick.
6 or 8.
Yeah.
But it was just a bunch of people who I knew. The dude Derek Grace with all the tattoos on his face.
Yeah.
Him.
And Zinga Shaw when she was still with the Hawks. Now
Yeah.
she over at D&I at Starbucks.
That's how she ended up meeting Rohit.
Word.
And they ended up Rohit got on the diversity committee, wasn't it?
With the Hawks.
And they ended up revitalizing Welcome All Park. But that happened out of Dinner with Friends.
Wow.
Like, yeah. And I'm not saying, hey, Dinner with Friends was the reason. It was just like,
I'm hungry as hell. What we doing?
But it was the shit, man. It was cool. I'm gonna tell you one of the best episodes for me. I had Little Duval
Oh, shit.
and Judge Hatchett.
Yo.
What?
When I tell you Little Duval, after I did that shit, I said Little Duval and Judge Hatchett need a show together because they were so. She keep it so real. She was just so real, and Duval was trying to be like respectful, like he talking to Auntie, but he was still being himself.
Yeah.
Like it was just they was beautiful together. But them, Rashawn Ali,
Killer Mike. Remember when Killer Mike and Mike Sterling? Didn't they kind of...
but they found some common ground, but they went back and forth just about gun.
I'm about to say, was it the Second Amendment?
Where can we see this anywhere?
Word? Yeah, where do you find this
It's
at?
on YouTube, but I'm gonna take it down anyway. Somebody just called me today. Take it down.
We gotta see this.
I swear, I just had a conversation about this earlier today about taking it down and just repackaging it and put that season back out and shoot a couple more.
Yeah.
You should, for sure.
Yeah, I just honestly, man,
And I give you my number. It's
definitely.
Look.
We'll have beer too.
Yeah, I'll bring the beer.
The last couple.
No, you weren't.
Well, you too, nigga.
The gathering spot. Like when the gathering spot first opened, Brian called us up and was like, "Yo, I seen this stuff. I love your content. I want you to shoot it here." So he shot it. We shot it there. We became members of the gathering spot at the very beginning, and that was when just a bunch of it took that long for me to get an underwriter. I had a sponsor for a few, and once we got to the gathering spot, just a whole lot of craziness happened with our sponsors, so we had to pull out. We couldn't. It was like an ultimatum being made to us. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna pull back and come back after I find another underwriter. And then Atlanta Influence, everything happened, and I haven't had.
Well, what also happened as he pulled back,
Oh shit.
for those that are that received the Gathering Spot newsletter,
Oh boy.
I got an invite to an event from the Gathering Spot called Dinner with Strangers.
Oh boy.
Oh shit.
So shout out to the
Yeah.
Gathering Spot.
Shout out to the Gathering Spot, but I didn't say that.
Wow.
It did happen.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I'm not.
That did happen.
Obviously, it's
Yeah.
like you did it with friends. They don't even sound the
I
same.
don't want to have that.
Oh, we doing Milli Vanilli now? That's what we doing? We doing Milli Vanilli shit?
Shout out to the Gathering Spot. But yeah, I think they thought it was a dope concept and they went and did it. But also, I mean, Ryan is dope, man.
Yeah, he the homie.
Him and TK, man, they the homie. He doing some real
Good-
dope
good
shit.
folks.
But he's an attorney at the end of the day. He's not a creative. So a creative person is probably going to take that much more to heart than a businessman. Like,
I feel
Of
like you
course.
could sell that to Revolt for $1 million.
definitely.
Like a
if you
$1
wanna-
million.
I mean, to be honest with you,
Or
I had
BET,
somebody call me about that. Not directly from Revolt, but
especially with your
somebody
friends.
who was offering to pitch it there because somebody saw, they showed it to someone.
Yeah.
And they wanted to middle it. I've had a few people do that. I mean,
Because it's
Will
$1
Packer.
million
I
idea,
talked to Will
man.
Packer about it before.
Because the thing about it is,
Yeah, he loved it too.
the thing about that is that
dope.
that idea itself, like people have done,
Yeah.
but what makes it super unique is again the folks we got in Atlanta, the folks you can pull
Right.
that
I
conversation.
didn't feel like
Judge
it was
Hatchett and Lil
reinvented,
Duval. Come on now,
insane.
where you gonna find that?
And fucking
You're not gonna find that
Sunny
anywhere.
Digital. Like, it was
I want to see that.
Sunny Digital.
Sonny was late. I had to be when I was a
Sunny,
seat holder.
yeah, Bane was a seat holder for Sunny Digital, and then he didn't say shit.
He was high as a
What
kite.
happened?
Man, he was high as a kite, yo.
Yeah, he was high as fuck.
He didn't even know your ass was there.
I think
He smoked before he ate. He messed up. It's dinner.
Sonny Digital smoke all the time. He's burned.
Yeah, that's a different kind of high, man. And I'm not saying it's not weed. I'm just saying, like, he's really. This is Lil Duval and Judge Hatchett.
I don't everything like as far as personality. I just need a cool person.
And let me say to you.
Okay.
Let me say to you.
Yeah.
Brings a lot to the table. So you can't say, I'm in charge all by myself. You just can't. I mean, I know you will, and you'll say it after tonight. But at the end of the day, you're not in charge all by yourself. Because you said to me, I have weaknesses.
I mean, that's honestly for real.
Yeah. And that's why I read.
You wanted to say it.
Yeah, reiterate.
Here's the best part.
Reiterate, like I don't take that
Lightly.
lightly. I don't take nothing my partner does lightly. You see what I'm saying? I don't take none of it.
Which is why it works.
Yeah, right.
Which is why it works.
Right. And I need like if I ain't got that, I'm fucked. You know.
It was like he didn't want to curse in front of Judge Hatchett, but
He had to keep it.
He had to keep it 100. Yeah, that was one of my favorite episodes.
I mean, like, and see, and this is what makes Atlanta influences everything so powerful because people don't realize how literally Atlanta influences things. Like when you look at you look at certain content, you
That
look
wouldn't
at
happen anywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get that vibe because I mean it's still the down south vibe where folks are just like civil, friendly off top,
Right.
They
They invite you in.
right.
And then on top of that, the excellence too.
right.
But let me also say something, man. I have to be real. I've been
Let's
in
go.
Atlanta.
Please.
This whole Southern hospitality, that is bullshit. Man.
What you mean?
It is Bang. Stop me, bro. If I'm telling a lie, it's bullshit.
Bang drinking.
Because Bang like
Kermit the Frog.
Bang like I'm gonna let him die on his own hill. No,
Why you say that? Why you say that?
it's bullshit because Atlanta's like everywhere else. It's just everywhere else doesn't have what Atlanta has. But Atlanta people, it's like at the end of the day, you got to get it how you live.
Yeah.
Out here, you got if you ain't really going for it, ain't nobody
So
throwing you no life
so
jacket.
hold on,
They
hold
don't
on.
Sink or
I
swim.
got one thing.
It's sink or swim.
So yeah, I mean that's just for one. That's black culture right there. Sink or swim, like
That's human culture.
Are you saying
Human,
your
but-
enemies smile at you in Atlanta?
Absolutely.
That's the thing
At
that
least
I
up
know.
north, people be like,
That
"Fuck
your
you,"
enemies smile
and
at
they
you in
mean it.
Atlanta, so you gotta kind of
no,
maneuver.
but you got Atlanta people who just if they don't mess with you, they just ain't gonna mess with you.
true.
But don't think like everybody's like, come on in.
So no, it's a two-edged sword. It's what like Justin just said. It's like no, you folks will, call you sweetheart in front of your face, but they really talking shit about you.
Right.
Whatever. It's not trying to hurt your feelings.
Right.
That's part of it.
Right.
But it is the part where, if you, this is the first time I physically met y'all, right? If y'all come to, I just say, hey, come through my homeboy's house or whatever, they gonna dap you up like, hey, what up, bro? I don't even know who the fuck you are, but you cool with him? We cool, whatever, Or just walking down the street, you give the black man nod. It's like, what's up? What's up?
Right.
Not even just a nod. It's just like, hey, what's up? How you feel?
Right.
That shit is very different from up north. Like,
you don't do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Like when I first came to Atlanta in 1992, a long time ago. When I first came to Atlanta, you couldn't just
way back.
Yeah, you couldn't say 1992.
Was TLC out?
Yeah.
What's TLC out?
Yeah, that was just
high school, out of high school.
Rookie.
They was their first year.
Yeah.
But when I first came, you couldn't just say what's up to me. Because I was like, what do you mean what's up? Don't talk to me.
Man, Tory about to square up just off of that.
But back then, back then where I was from, like
he postured.
People is
postured, bro.
That's a like a universal. I'm about to rob you,
right?
Like, what's up? What do you mean, what's up? Like, weird.
You ask me how my fucking day is? Nah, you about to get his heat.
I mean, it sounds crazy now, but back then when I first got here, and I went to a block party at Morris Brown.
Ooh, that was probably a good time. I bet that was a good time.
And I saw all of these women, but I was just like, so thinking something bad was gonna happen.
Damn.
Because all of these black folks was out, and I couldn't even enjoy it. And I was like, yo, some shit is about to jump off. And my homeboy was like, what, nigga? Nigga, this college.
Relax.
He was like, he's like, get a number, man.
I mean, I wasn't a student. I was just here. So he's like, nigga, this college. You tripping. I'm like, all right, you gonna see. But
he's like, these the good niggas.
Nothing never happened.
But the funny part about that is we also had that talk about that same time period. Boys in the Hood, Minister Society. You remember?
Yeah.
They both going to
They all
Atlanta.
came out at the same time.
But they were escaping black hood shit to come to apparently the place where it was paved the streets of gold for black people.
Right.
But remember what we said? They never knew Curtis Snow was
They
here.
didn't know Curtis Snow lived there. They didn't know that. They ain't know about the Bluff. They ain't know about Techwood.
So they was just trying to get the Morehouse and Spelman. Atlanta's the place where black people are great.
I will never know.
Good. Don't
I'm not
find out.
trying. I like to keep my
Atlanta had the rest of Atlanta had the whole Black America fooled that this shit was like the promised land. Yeah. Like how they did. We talked about this. Like Moses. Send Moses down the river in a reed basket to Atlanta. That basket got shot up.
That episode that Key and Peele did about Atlanta, the Mecca.
Remember that?
And niggas start dancing, they coming out of nowhere.
I didn't see that.
Man, that shit was fucking hilarious.
Atlanta is like it's a trick, man. Like, but that's what I mean. It's like you feel like Southern hospitality is like you think all I got to do is show up to Atlanta and they say, "Here's your home. Here's your cattle. This is your
welcome."
Nigga, no,
I get that.
Grandma said, "Oh, I just baked this for you, baby."
If you broke in Mississippi and you come to Atlanta, you just gonna be broke in Atlanta. It's like, nah, bro, you gotta run
if you have family.
Yes.
But Black America, just from shit like Minister Society, Boys in the Hood in the early 90s, people really, when I came, my mother basically told me I had to leave. Like, hey, this is, if you go to Atlanta, I can try to help you, but if not, you gotta pay rent. So it's like, damn, I gotta be adult. I just graduated high school.
Yo.
But in their mind, they felt like if you go to Atlanta, like
You good. You gravy.
you don't even need food.
Right.
Just give it to you.
Picking peaches and peanuts, just at will.
They grow peaches and peanuts.
Run to the office. It's all good.
Exactly.
It's plentiful.
Thrive.
Garden of
Prosper.
Right. Go down to a creek and get some water.
You get down to this bitch's Game of Thrones, and you like, oh
that game.
They trying to kill me.
Then you found out there's red though. It's like they cops is beating people ass here.
But in all seriousness, Atlanta, in that sense, the homeless population would mimic Skid Row, because when you talk to people in LA about Skid Row
is different though.
Well, in the early stages, the one thing they have in common is most definitely different. The one thing they have in common is if you were to check IDs, the ones that have ID, most of the people on Skid Row are not from LA area. And they all have some sort of rando story about how they got there.
Trying to be an actor.
Start checking IDs in Atlanta, homeless.
They from Mechanicsville, or they from? Outside 285.
Outside 285, but also St.
Clinton
Louis,
County, what up?
other places, and they are young black. When I say young black, I mean 50 and under, young homeless, and they be black, but from somewhere else, not Atlanta proper.
Right.
And if you ask them what happened, it's some tall tale, some long story about
Drez. He was homeless for a minute. He talked about it on the podcast.
I believe it.
He told us.
Because it's not the talk. Remember the telephone game? We were little. You sit in a circle.
Yep.
The narrative about Atlanta would get
changed so many times.
Yes. Again, the city is. That's one of the reasons why we felt the need for Atlanta Influence Everything, because to have some sort of narrative control. Because the narrative is off about what it is and what it
That's
isn't.
a good point.
And
that's good.
Not having a clear narrative, I think, has had people hearing stories about their partner that came who didn't know how to rap last year in St. Louis, moved to Atlanta this year and got a record deal. And that could be true, but
it's not the majority.
Yeah, but they sold their last though for the bus ticket to Atlanta to chase to be the fourth member of the Migos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm going to be the fourth member of the Migos.
Right.
And it's going to work.
Pop off
They
like
just
that.
don't know it yet. So there's this thing that y'all have going on with AIE.
Shit, why you find that? We gonna drink some more.
Yeah,
hey,
I'm
kill that.
baby.
Kill
This
that.
is a drinking part.
Hell yeah. Shit, I mean we'll drink as much as fast as you drink.
Yeah,
That's
Okay.
that's how it is.
we got it.
Shoot, Justin was still trying.
Look, like I said,
I was trying to be cute because of the cute glasses. I ain't
Nah, fam.
you know what I'm saying? These
Nah,
glasses that
this is
sneak
just
up on
portion control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're trying our best. We're trying our best to be civil.
That's all that is.
But we some niggas.
But no, this Saporous was hitting though.
Yeah.
For sure we are. We just try to be good. We want to impress y'all.
Don't impress us.
Now,
You're wasting that.
just,
me.
just switching it a little bit. Tell us about the Atlanta Community Give Back Neighborhood Tour.
He said you.
All right. So, right, because I am. The Community Give Back Tour is, we have a friend of ours, Keithann Powell. Keithann, or Ann as we call her, is super civically engaged, as just like Bang, but she's Ann, you know. So she knows my heart, and she knows I don't really get too pepped up or excited about anything. Like, we got an award from that's when the joke started. We got an award last year from Invest Atlanta just I don't know, what was it, entrepreneurial excellence or some shit like that. Thanks, Invest Atlanta.
For being hot in the streets.
Next time, give us a track. Shout out to y'all though. We love Invest Atlanta. Shiaki over there. That's the homie. But I wasn't excited about the award. I was just like, all right, we get an award. You know, that's cool. Yeah. But what are we doing next? And she was saying, yo, you can do a give back. We can do some food. And I was excited about that. And she's just like, yo, nigga, like, you ain't never excited about shit that happens with AIE. Like, no acknowledgement.
Never?
Because I always look at the reactionary part of it is like, so-and-so, Ludacris just wore your shit on Versus. That means our Shopify is about to start going crazy. That means the site is about to start going crazy and we got to fill orders. That's my mind.
Right.
So I was like, all right, cool. That just means it's something to react to.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if we giving back, that's dope.
Yeah.
So, we gave back. I think with us in Local Green last year, we did something called Atlanta Helps Atlanta Day. But with COVID, we couldn't come back with it.
Mm-hmm.
But we just got a chance to partner with the Atlanta Braves and Noonday Association of Churches. It's like this conglomerate of churches, different denominations, that just want to come together and help, less fortunate.
Right.
Muhammad School.
The Muhammad School, but we're not part of that anymore.
Okay.
Like, that's not something we deal with anymore. So, they might have did a week with us or whatever, but the Atlanta Braves stepped in just because some other stuff we was doing kind of went awry, and we said, "Yo, we just gonna take X amount of boxes of food off the Braves' hands every week and do a community tour." That was my idea. I said, I thought we should go into neighborhoods. So we've been in several neighborhoods: Summer Hill, Westview, West End, Castleberry Hill, Mechanicsville. We going to Thomasville soon. We going to Gobby Road. Go down to
all these places with the food deserts and shit like that.
To, all the hoods that are underserved or people who are what you call food insecure. We're going to their neighborhoods, bringing the food directly to them, because we try to make it as socially distant and safe as possible. Like, people come up, we collect data, and we just fill the car up and just let them drive off. They don't even have to get out the car.
Yeah.
But when we got to Mechanicsville, people didn't even have cars.
Right.
People pulling up with suitcases, putting food in the suitcases, and hand trucks. And, we had like a 9-10-year-old kid out there with a hand truck, no shoes on, with his grandmother. That ain't funny.
No, it ain't funny. I'm laughing about the Braves, because the Braves were there. The different partners were there.
Yeah.
And I don't think they had ever seen
Atlanta.
anything like that. And I just remember nothing against the Braves, most definitely nothing against, but the way they were looking was kind of like, whoa,
shit,
this is real.
This is different. It's not a game. These people out here, and it's like, it's Mechanicsville, so they already with the turn up. So if we would have made them wait for the food, who knows how that would have went down. So we just kind of set everything up, and I think we gave out over 500 boxes of food that day. Yeah.
How often y'all do that?
Every Thursday. We do it every Thursday, and we're going to be doing it until the end of the summer. So
then how do people get in touch? August,
they can follow us on Instagram. Atlanta Influences Everything. We're on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, man. And it's just like, at the end of the day, everybody's trying to figure out, all these corporations, how do we give back to black people right now? Everybody wants to, fill this stuff down. But
basic needs.
Well, we need more than basic needs. Black people need a whole cornucopia of shit. Like, we need so much shit, it's ridiculous. We need access to wealth, if you want to keep it 100. But at the end of the day, man, people who are in Mechanicsville, people who are in Thomasville and places like that, they have immediate needs that are urgent needs, right? So it's like, and when you hear if somebody from Thomasville hears that the CEO of fucking Fortune 500 whatever is like, I want to donate $100 million to black people, like,
the side eye.
They have no. What the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah.
If I'm in Townsville, what the fuck does that mean, dog? It doesn't mean nothing, because to them, that trickle down never even happens.
Yeah.
It's like, it never even gets here.
That shit don't come
It's
close.
like, somebody gave out $100 million. Where'd it go? I still don't have no food in my refrigerator.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's what that's about.
So with that being said, what is do y'all have any ideas and or forthcoming projects to address the equity disparity in Atlanta between obviously black people and then the powers that be?
Not directly, but I'll say what we were more planning, like, before everything happened. And I'm sure, like, everybody's had a conversation where everybody's like, before all this happened.
Yep.
Everybody said,
I was going to be rich. I could blame it on COVID.
Right. Everything is COVID, right?
Had a whole plan.
Yeah.
I was about to get a couple stacks myself.
Yeah, Yeah, I was about to do that.
Yo,
I was on my way to the league.
I had this whole thing set up with China.
Let's keep it going.
It didn't work.
Prove me wrong.
My album was coming out.
About to drop last week, fam.
I was about to drop, but see,
I have to drop that next year.
Right? She told me she was 18.
Oh,
Hold on, we gotta go, nigga.
y'all stupid.
I gotta
Y'all fools for real. Y'all fools. I gotta go, man.
COVID could get him out of it. R. Kelly tried it.
Best thing that ever happened.
Tried it.
Shit, I was about to hit.
Right.
And COVID,
Man. COVID hit first.
yeah, she.
Right.
Cheers, nigga. Cheers.
Damn. God damn, Keisha fine. Oh shit, you know I was about to hit that. Then COVID.
Goddamn COVID.
New normal. New normal.
That's my nigga.
I can't really hit like that no more because of COVID.
Right.
COVID
But
out.
before everything, all this stuff happened, man, we was kind of looking at, of course, content, doing some programming around STEM for kids, and a program that we was putting together that was really going, I don't want to say teach, but show the kids, because it's really about kids to me, to us rather, what's next and how to take control and feed yourself. The new iteration of, entrepreneurialism, really, or just trade, learning how to open a business. Like, it's one thing for somebody like, open a business, but we actually put you in that space to do it and be active and have profit and loss and things like that. So that's what we're working on.
That's a big thing that a lot of people don't really understand about the acquisition of wealth. Like, people, like, a part of it definitely is that, some folks, their parents or grandparents, had the, blank check.
Word.
And just, popped it off. And
Right.
yeah,
that
that
happened
happens
for me.
But another thing is how to navigate that whole, the loan space.
Right.
The loans and insurance. So a lot of people, somebody hit me up to this. It's like a lot of, back in the day, still do, a lot of white folks took out, their parents told their kids to take out insurance policies on them.
Yeah. That was
You're not going to live forever.
That was a hustle.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
It's free
go
money.
ahead,
It's free money.
literally. Go ahead. Take it out on me early enough. Because when we going, which we are going, that's going to be,
It's capital.
100,000 off top.
That was the come up.
Yes.
But don't get it. Let's not
One of
like
the come ups.
One
of the come ups.
that is a weight.
Well, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Black people in the South had a hand. They understood that too.
Oh, true.
Black people in the South understood, in my opinion, they understood wealth and finances better than any black people anywhere. Black people in the South.
But access to it, because I mean, you
They have
got the
land.
land and the loans. You
Right.
know, even if you had the money, you try to get a loan, they're gonna charge you 30%. It's like, what
Absolutely.
you talking about? 30%
Right.
interest? Like that's crazy, right? But yeah, but getting the loans to or actually getting hip to just finding out what you can do, and pushing somebody's hand to be like, oh well, you got businesses going up and down all the time.
Right.
To keep it within the black community, it's like, oh, instead of some developer coming in, if you already went to the bank and be like, well, we can give you a loan for this, for $50,000,
Right.
Whatever. You tell a business that just went down and be like, hey, I'll give you cash right now. I'll give you 25 cash right now. What they gonna do?
Take that money.
Right. That's what developers do all the fucking time. That's what they do all the time.
It's
they
the
don't,
American way.
right. Doing that and but navigating that, but that's like a little, it's not a secret per se, but that's not information that's actively given out.
It's not front facing information.
Right.
But it's there. Sometimes you just gotta ask the right questions.
So we think, in the business of influencer culture, influencers make money. YouTube influencers, TikTok, Mm-hmm. So the unique spin on the influencer business model is what happens when it's an actual city and things that come from the city that are doing the influencing. Mm-hmm. How then does that translate into capital? What does that look like? So a TikTok influencer, there's a direct check from the brand to the influencer.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, that's not going to work with the city. So you have to leverage the influence in another way. So that was kind of the consulting that we would do is we shouldn't be number one in income inequality with a 4% upward mobility rate. You know, meaning if you're born poor in Atlanta, 96% chance you'll die poor.
Right.
And the city influence everything. That doesn't make sense. Right. So we cool, but we broke.
Right. Yeah.
Like, wow. Well, the interesting thing about that narrative is Atlanta as a city's narrative. Mm-hmm. Atlanta is so black that Atlanta's problems as a city closely mirror Black America's problems.
It's a microcosm.
Yeah.
Atlanta's a microcosm for everything black in America. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse. And when we say for better or for worse, literally, for better or for worse, you can find how many black people in this country have a movie studio with their name on it?
Right.
2.
One motherfucker. and he's here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got
compound.
Then you got Crackhead Poochie. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gonna have it all. You got Curtis Snow.
Yep.
And then you got Will Packer. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like we have, it's from scale A to Z. Atlanta can show you black life, but I mean, yeah, he's. We
just have to
right.
we haven't.
And I don't want to say we cool, but we broke. It's like because we ain't completely broke, but the people who ain't broke, they either don't care about the ones who are, or they don't know how to really help them.
Yeah.
Because the marching and we going, back to school, book back. I'm going to go on Walmart and pay for people's layaway. Thank you. But at the end of the day, we got to address different problems.
That's a Band-Aid.
We got to
break.
break.
That's
going to be a problem.
And grateful for the Band-Aid. As a black man looking at it, I'm like, I'm glad somebody did something because everybody needed that immediate relief. But at the end of the day, when you talk about the long game, we ain't really fixing shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we figured that the influence, because it seems to work in other areas, maybe we can use the influence as some sort of leveraging tool. Like, hey, I got this influence. Shit, what you want to trade for it? You know, what's that worth to you? And what that translates to is so Atlanta Influence Everything as a consultancy, how can we help you in Atlanta, your small business, the chamber, your large company? How can we help you leverage this influence to better what it is you're doing? And hopefully the domino effect of that creates some sort of workforce and economic development. That's how the influence is paid for, through jobs. And if you're not from Atlanta and trying to get a piece of this, we can help you connect to Atlanta in an authentic way. And it's not as much about Atlanta from our business model. It's transferable. All it is identifying the sauce of a place. Every place has a thing. Yeah. And then it's doubling down on whatever that thing is that you have and that you do that no one else does, doubling down on that and having everything kind of feed into and go out of that. My last example is the influence in Atlanta. It's especially in terms of all of the Black Lives Matter money moving. How you leverage it is you do it in the way in which Native Americans, the way they hunted, the way they would hunt bears or buffalo, which is different than the way the white man would hunt. So the Native American would kill a bear and obviously eat the meat. But the fat from the meat would be oil for the lamp. The fur would be clothes and bedding.
Right.
The claws and the teeth would be tools and weapons. So one kill netted 5 things.
Right.
But that's the way it is with the influence. In Atlanta, one situation, the way we look at it, there are 3 to 4 things that can come from leveraging of this influence. We just have to take a look at it and figure out how it best matches what you're doing.
Right. It's not, it's not just like if you have this product, whatever it is, it's not just like selling that and it's like, oh, I make this and you buy it. It's just like, well, no. I make this, you buy it. That's one way, or someone's like, oh, I can use this for something else just for the looks of it. I don't even care like what it does, but it looks cool. So I'm gonna use it that way. And you market it a different way than you would market that same product to a business owner that wants to use it for its function. Different things like,
And there are young people here that actually might want to learn to make that thing too.
Right.
And so let's talk about a pipeline to employment. That's another thing. So we're going to hit you a few different ways. And that's kind of how our consulting works.
Nice.
Fucking dope.
So do y'all have anything, do y'all have anything new or, in the works coming down later this year? I mean, we halfway through the year now. It's fucking July.
I got my mixtape coming out.
Hey,
that's fucking
hot fire in this thing.
Hot fire.
Dylon.
What's fucked up is that was an automatic joke. Like, what if I was serious? Y'all have just fucked my whole self-esteem up.
If you were 100% serious, we would have had jokes.
As long as you do it while I'm here. Like, don't wait till I leave and be like, that nigga got a mixtape.
Southern hospitality.
Right.
I'm interested in how anybody answers that question now in terms of
everything has stopped.
Planning. I mean, things change on the hour by the hour,
Right.
But I can tell you we've been blessed so we have a relationship with every major local sports team.
Nice.
So we're trying to Yeah. Got a phone call with them on Friday.
Hey!
Talking with Shannon at 3 o'clock on Friday.
He put a look at he adjusted his
If y'all need bodies to just be somewhere.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing is all of the sports teams. There's like levels of things that they're dealing with. There's the regular marketing and all of that, and there's the Falcons are talking about the players but then what is social? So you're waiting in line to get a beer at the game. You have to social distance. They even have to. They're working on
trying to find a way to get.
There's so many levels of. No longer is the beer weight all up on the next man while but social distancing in the stadium. Once you spread people out, now
not enough room.
And so they don't know what the seats are gonna look like. So it's levels. So I don't know how much we can help in that area. If there's a check, we'll figure it out. But what we are, each team loves what the brand says and is trying to figure out what that means for their team, their sport, and the fan base.
Right.
So for the Falcons, it might be a unique shirt. For Atlanta United, it might be they did a flag when they won the championship. But it might be something experiential.
The Magic City. Ain't no more Atlanta than that.
Man, yo.
And let
Ain't no more Atlanta than that.
on it.
Yeah.
I'll never watch that trophy. Don't you watch that.
Funny that's on coronavirus.
Right. That's pre-corona. So it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
But
your housekeeper wiped it off. She's fired.
The funny part about that is Atlanta United's approach. I remember when they came. I met the owner when they first were doing their promo runs right after they got the team name. And they were intentional on doubling down on Atlanta as to not be the Thrashers.
Right.
Yeah.
They used the Thrashers. The Thrashers never connected
with the community.
Yeah. And so Atlanta United intentionally.
But the funny thing about United, what's unique about them is they've been able to attach. I don't even think they did it. I think the new people have attached themselves to the United. Like this is our
plenty
team.
of times.
Oh yeah,
It makes me happy and angry.
Right. It's like
because an Atlanta United fan
hate it.
more than likely is a Chicago Bear football or something else. They are not
right.
You know, and so the larger the Atlanta United fan you are, either the more suburban or not
New
from Atlanta
you are.
Right.
But it's understandable because they're coming with their MLS is new to most Americans.
Period.
On a high level,
right, in general.
So it's if you're new Atlanta resident, the only way that you can come and really join Atlanta without, the other three, is Atlanta United. Because if you're coming from somewhere else, you probably got another basketball team. You were already another baseball team and another football team.
Right.
So you're allowed to come up under this Atlanta United umbrella. And I did want to say, so 2 Chainz got the song. He has a song, Hawks, Braves, Falcons. Came out at the end of 2019, but the song is about how he's so Atlanta that any day of the week you can catch him in any 3 of those hats.
Right.
But what's funny is the Atlanta United paid him for a marketing campaign that he was in, but he failed to mention them, which
he didn't fail.
Yeah. Well, I say he failed because in making the song and what the song was about, he was trying to talk about how Atlanta he was. So Atlanta United is not drilled enough down in an old Atlanta person's psyche even though they got a championship.
The game of soccer, though.
It's not. So, and at the end of that song, he said something to when we were talking about Atlanta earlier. He said something very unique. He said, man, he was talking about how great Atlanta was. And he said, one of the reasons what makes Atlanta so great, he said, if you fucking with us, we fucking with you.
Straight up.
And that could seem like not a big statement.
But it is.
But you can go other places and be open to fucking with them.
Yeah.
And they not fuck with you.
They're like, nah.
You know what I'm saying? Nah. And I think that's I guess at times could be a gift and curse to Atlanta, but it is a true statement. If you're fucking with us, we are fucking with you.
You could jump on a bandwagon anytime.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true in Atlanta.
What, that if you fuck with us, we...
Yeah, but I hear it sounds great.
Well, you seem scarred when he says stuff like that.
Nah, I'm just observing. Like,
well,
I see what people say. You know what I mean?
Someone said that it's a certain way. So if you come here from somewhere else and you're trying to rap, and you are rapping with the dialect and flow of where you came from.
Yeah.
No day.
Even though apparently the music business is here, so you're supposed to be able to come and get on here.
Yeah.
But
the city ain't.
Yeah.
It ain't, yeah.
So then you would have to Waka Flocka it and be from Queens. But like you would never know now because he's Southside.
That ain't fair to him though, because he came up on the South Side. Queens is not.
He did.
Like he was really part of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like by the time he got on, he had spent time here. Yeah. Been through some things. Like he was Atlanta.
Yeah.
For real. Like his formative shit was here.
But I mean, I feel what you're saying. I mean, it's levels to how you come on in Atlanta in general.
Mm-hmm. And what catches on and what is accepted,
right,
and what doesn't, because the openness that is perceived to be hasn't worked for everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Kyle Stapleton just hit me up and was like, "Fucking finally."
He hit you? He just texted me
on Instagram, like, "What? Fucking finally."
Oh, he hold up. I don't know if I should be saying this or not. Yeah, I saw him on the website.
Those guys
he's
fucking
having a girl.
What?
Oh, he's having a girl. Okay.
Right.
Congrats. Congrats to Kyle Stapleton.
I hope I can share that. Fuck.
By the time this comes out, everybody will know. All his friends will know. So congrats to my brother Kyle Stapleton.
Yes, sir.
And baby girl Stapleton.
Cheers, homie.
Cheers. And to that, we're gonna cheers.
We're gonna drink. What are we drinking? The Kyle's
we got a new joint. This is from the homies of Pontoon up in Roswell. This is their
Mexican lager. His people like Mexican shit.
Mexican.
Whoa!
Uh-oh.
That's a joke. They love that.
Shout out to them.
Right. Oh, tacos?
You high.
Taco Tuesday?
Say what?
Right. This is their Mexican lager called Soul Crusher.
Oh, man.
They got the authentic, or, if you want to say authentic, like Aztec style, right, that's what, quote unquote.
We don't actually know,
right,
but we think.
or better yet, might be stereotypical. That might be more accurate.
Okay, we're on the right path here.
More accurate.
Everything is under review nowadays.
Crusher.
Yo, man.
Look,
Crushable under
I
the sun.
see now.
Right.
Now I'm feeling this drinking. I'm
feeling
feeling
it?
the beer.
You feel a little bit? Just a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm
so,
in,
this
I'm in the zone.
traditional style lager. Oh shit, Christian, you
Yeah, I'm ready.
yeah.
I'm ready to do something.
Traditional style lager, nice amber transparent color. Crisp, clean. Something to kick back on. A beer that tastes like beer.
Beer flavored beer.
Thank God for that.
Which is a big difference from what we just drank.
Saporous,
Just had some
but nah.
hard cider, some hard
But
juice.
it still got a little sweetness to it.
I like it, though.
Yeah, this is good.
This is good.
Shout out to Pontoon again.
Shout out to Pontoon.
Yep. That's the brewery that we're doing our beer with.
Pontoon, we fuck with y'all.
Yep.
We can say that,
Just
right?
off GP.
Yeah,
Of course. We
Just off GP.
We just need somebody to get a AIE beer real quick.
Man,
Hey,
holler at us.
well, we know somebody. We know a
Yeah,
little
we love to go
outlet.
through you guys.
Yeah, we
Our,
could.
our good friends over at TAP.
But to be real, I do.
That's so dope.
The
bro.
type of
The
consultant
Atlanta
that we-
podcast. TAP. Oh, that shit is dope.
that we would want to, the type of consultant that we want to do. So, like, if you during the Super Bowl, the city of Atlanta had done some events, and obviously Heineken cuts checks. The way Atlanta influences everything, the storytelling, the narrative, the supporting small business, all of that is early in the planning. The local breweries, either you create a unique beer for the Super Bowl, but coming in town for the Super Bowl, I as Atlanta can't serve you Heineken.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. I mean, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a certain place probably where the Heineken, the money is flowing and whatever, but when the city and city people and we are doing our events, there's not an understanding, even from the top, about doubling down on Atlanta. Even the top doesn't understand fully what that looks like and what it looks like from a support standpoint.
Like,
so
it
you
should've
come in
been-
town, you're drinking
It should have been all in the beer. If you don't drink beer, you drinking Coke. Period. Like, that's all we doing.
as much as possible under the circumstances.
Right.
You're not going to get it in every thing because some places, Pontoon ain't cutting the check
Money
the
talks.
way Heineken. But
Yeah. No. I don't agree. I don't agree there. I don't agree. I mean, this is Atlanta, so you should have whatever available to you. But at the end of the day, what you should be doing, since you have local breweries, you should make sure that they have some real estate so people can know that they're here, because all it does is bring that equity back to the city. But you can't just like be bear Gestapo and like fuck Heineken. You gotta drink that shit. No,
Shit
that's
trash
not right.
anyway, but okay.
Yeah. Who the fuck does that? Like, yeah, it's like cool. So,
Absolutely.
that's my take.
Absolutely.
You know what
I mean, but to your point, I mean, it was you can do that to a point, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's about the bottom line. You ain't gonna say no.
That's my point.
You ain't gonna say no.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, we don't need you. Like, no.
No, we need
but
you.
you need to to push it. Be
Right.
like, okay, cool, yeah. For everybody knows Heineken, so yeah,
Right.
you can get it here. But if you like Heineken, fuck with Pontoon, fuck with Orpheus,
Right.
Fuck
Is that
with
a?
this.
But that's not a city thing, though. That's more. I think that's almost like a kind of a collective kind of consciousness that business owners who serving people need to have.
Yeah.
So
Like,
in New
gotta
York, they
be-
have
they got to be supporting local.
Made in New York
Right.
movement, which leans excuse heavy tech, not only tech in New York, but it's that doubling down on local business and always be thinking branding, which is what people tell us all the time. Tory got to remind me, because sometimes I go out, if we're doing some AIE, I don't know. didn't wear the shirt. I didn't wear anything.
No, we had a TED talk.
Oh yeah. Where's the fucking shirt?
And I had
I was like, yo, you gotta wear the shirt though. And he comes with a shirt over the shirt. I'm like, yo, this a fucking TED talk. And the theme of the TED talk is Atlanta influences everything. And he wanted to wear his homeboy shirt. Like, nigga.
Shout out to the homeboy.
Tell your homeboy we need a cut. Because we just got him some shit he couldn't pay for. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't get that.
Yeah.
So I could be mad or just understand it's Bane. And he ain't thinking how I'm going to think.
But in that same thing, we you know, what does Made in Atlanta look like on all levels? Yeah. Beer, clothing, tech. Music. Just a doubling down and as much as possible pushing that, making sure that the moment people land at the airport or whatever, they have the choice of, you know, if you land at the airport and you love Heineken where you're from, I don't want to not provide you Heineken in Atlanta. That might fuck up your experience. You know what I'm saying? True. But also give you this palette of the things that are made here. And my point on that, the Whole Foods, the big Whole Foods in Midtown, right? Mm-hmm. They have some Atlanta shirts in there. Very cheesy looking Atlanta stuff. Something made me look at the tag.
We love Atlanta forever.
Yeah, that type of shit. Yeah. But made in Milwaukee, the tag. Yeah. So, but that, but see, Whole Foods is just doing what they're doing.
Right.
Yeah. If Atlanta, and this would be more so the chamber and kind of certain, say, hey, thank you for opening the Southeast's largest Whole Foods. We see you're carrying some Atlanta merch. I guess you're trying to, that's your way of showing love to the city.
Right.
Is there any way we've got real merch? This shirt here.
Trash.
You know, but Atlanta doesn't make the ask. And this is what I know for a fact on the back end of how things work. We make, to the Southern hospitality point, Atlanta will bend a lot to have you come in and spend your money here. Mm-hmm. We will bend in ways to where we will push the native back. No, hold up. Yeah. Company, you go over there. It was like that during the Super Bowl.
But bang.
Yeah.
Who, see, this is, who asked that question? Like, we have these talks all the time, and I'm devil advocate.
I feel like I'm being in the middle.
Sometimes.
I feel you, though.
But it's like, so Bame has this thing when you be like, black people. And he'd be like, well, who the fuck is black people? What's their email? When you be like, black people need to know this, or they need to do this. Who the fuck is black people? What's their email? Same thing. Like, who the fuck is the person that just randomly comes from the city? Like, oh, Whole Foods, I know the shit. Some things just, we can't.
How do you do about it? Saying, how do you make the company care? How do you?
Well, see, here's the thing. Bame, because he's so civic minded and because he's always thinking about ecosystem of how cities actually work and how everybody kind of gets a piece of the pie, right? He's looking at it like, well, how come you heard him, he just said Atlanta never makes the ask. Who's that person?
Who's that?
Who's that guy that goes to fucking Whole Foods and say, why do you have these shirts from Milwaukee?
Karen?
Who gives a fuck at the end of the
manager.
day? It'd be cool if somebody was like, hey, let's get some of these Atlanta Influence Everything shirts in Whole Foods. But I think that's on us to make that ask. Yeah. There's no guy from the city that's going to walk in there and say that shit.
Yeah.
Who's the guy you talk to, though?
Especially when those jobs,
I don't know.
Those people are coming from.
Let's have one of these, man. Let's do that till we figure it out. I don't fucking know. He's somewhere.
Hell yeah.
You know, I don't know. Yeah. This is good, man. Soul Crusher. Shout out to Pontoon.
Absolutely.
Pontoon, man. Y'all.
But I feel you. I mean, that's what you got to do. But I mean, it's hard to, when you actually talk about putting rubber to the road. Like, okay, so who do we go? Where do we go? When can we go?
Right, but
the manager at Whole Foods, he don't make the decisions. That nigga does not make decisions.
Yeah, you know what his face looks like when you're having that. What are you even talking about?
But the people who in this job for this shit,
the people he's gonna say, "Well, I can give you a free sandwich." I give a fuck.
The people who structured that deal, because when you find out about these deals, they appear in the Atlanta Business Chronicle first. This is Atlanta Business Chronicle, like the Microsoft thing with Microsoft bringing all those jobs here recently.
Yeah,
it was structured in a way to where it would benefit the Atlanta economy per the jobs, but it's only top line. And we got a homie over at the chamber, Disha, with Choose ATL.
Shout out to Disha.
We argue about this type of stuff. It's all in love.
No, you argue with Disha.
I say stuff that she might not like. And
Choose ATL, who y'all like? Y'all partner with Choose ATL and Butter for 404 Day, right?
Yeah, that was dope.
It's all in love. I feel that there are extra level conversations that can be had when doing deals. Mm-hmm. That these companies are open to having you double down on how they can better connect authentically with the city. Mm-hmm. And I know this for a fact now because I got a call from Microsoft. They did their deal, obviously, with the Chamber and Invest Atlanta. That's who. Mm-hmm. I got a call from a lady who was a vendor consultant for Microsoft. They hired because they wanted to get more grassroots information about Atlanta culture and things that were happening on the ground. Now, Microsoft made that call on their own and paid that money on their own to do that. Why didn't they feel that the Chamber and Invest Atlanta had that information? They they paid an extra cost. Mm-hmm. The lady explained to me they pay her extra to do extra research about what's really happening on the ground. What are things they need to be cued in for? What should they be looking at?
Microsoft.
Yeah.
Right? So Microsoft money.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a couple months ago.
Because they felt there was a disconnect between the Chamber and then...
Well, they obviously they weren't going to say that.
Right.
So, yeah, it was just them saying they were going the extra mile to just make sure that they crossed the T's and dotted the I's on all levels.
Right.
So that type of due diligence on their end shows that there's a lane for that in a relationship. And the larger thing, everybody here is grown, has been in some sort of relationship. And earlier you said your wife. So there's a natural love, that attraction. And then from my understanding, even though I have much experience in this space, from my understanding, the sustainability of the marriage comes through communication and give and take. And so your wife gets to explain to you how she likes to be loved beyond whatever naturally happened. Right. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. That's how the relationship works. But Atlanta hasn't done the best job in that second level of communication. We so happy that you brought your money here and your business. We just kind of, and these are facts, yo. There's some people that would not be as whatever, but the numbers and the disconnect between Atlanta natives and Atlanta public school folks and DeKalb County school folks that are working at these places show the large disconnect in the things that are coming in and the way they're authentically plugging into the native. There's a disconnect. Right. And so Tory's right. There is no person. I'm a Fast Company disciple, though. Like, I love Fast Company. I love Wired. I love Inc. You can innovate your way out of some of these things.
Yeah, it's innovation, but it got to be super intentional. At the end of the day. There's a problem in Atlanta that the transplant can come here and see all these opportunities and connect to them, but you got people that been here their whole life and a lot of shit just ain't, it be passing them by. And
that's where y'all come in. It's like, you got the sauce, as you said before.
Come in and influence.
Come through us, and we'll point you in the right direction. It's like, cool. You need to do this. You need to do that. This and the other. and my wife was gonna kill me. I'm gonna call you with the shirt.
Yeah, make sure you get in touch with me.
She told me this before. She was like, "Hold on."
My wife likes shirts too. She wears 2X though.
Oh yeah.
I'm not married.
I'm done. Niggas are for real crazy. Nobody told me this shit. They crazy, man.
I don't got a wife. I got a couple that belong to the streets, and they want some shirts.
Oh no. She belongs to the streets.
She belongs to the streets.
Future ass niggas.
But look though, they need some though. They be supporting.
No doubt.
All right.
Nah, nigga, you be fucking with them red state chicks, man.
But that's why people should buy the merch.
I'm done with that.
Buy the merch.
Absolutely. Is there anything, we're about to close out, is there anything that y'all want to add?
Yes, I do. I want to say we're going to open the Atlanta Influence Everything gift shop in the airport.
Hey! What? When is this happening?
I don't know. I'm speaking it into existence.
Let's do it!
But this is something we've been wanting to do for a while.
And they're also real conversations.
They're real conversations.
I'm sure.
There's no date on it, but
it needs to happen.
yeah.
Exactly
We a friend of mine told me, and he's a successful guy. He said,
"Oh, you don't want to name names anymore."
Because I realize I say it casually because it's my man like that.
Hey, go ahead and drop the name.
Say that. Drop the name. I'll put some bombs on it.
Nah, Charlie.
White boy Charlie?
Yeah. Charlie told me this one time. He was like,
"Oh shit, you know Charlie?" Go ahead. I'm sorry.
which one? Nah, but he just was like, yo, man, sometimes when you have an idea, sometimes you just got to put it out there and it finds you. So we haven't really been putting it out there, but we have. So these are real conversations, but it's nothing in stone yet, but that's what we're planning. We want to.
Jez was low key saying the same thing.
Yeah.
We were talking.
Look, when you're coming up that escalator from the little,
you have to.
when you're coming up that escalator from the train, and then it's Atlanta influences everything. While you're going up that big escalator, that should have looked fire right there. I'm just saying.
And we had
look nice.
We
had Porsche
domestic side and international side.
Right.
Yeah.
Need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a nice.
The day that happens, I want to buy a ticket to anywhere just so I could come back and see it.
Just come home. But
that's what I mean from an Atlanta supports Atlanta doubling down on what comes from here and what makes us great versus any other city in the world is the city has to understand that within itself and then say, okay, these few billboards in the international terminal, these few spaces are reserved for local.
And let me be clear, like the Atlanta Influence Everything gift shop and the airport is not just about Atlanta Influences Everything merch. It's about Atlanta creatives and entrepreneurs. So
the Atlanta podcast shirts will be up in there.
So it's like showing the best.
Come in there and do the podcast.
Right.
Do it.
Like showing the best of what
done.
Atlanta has to offer on the creative side and entrepreneurial side.
Because now, if you go in the airport, the merch looks like,
Poo-poo.
Come on.
Gas
and the
station
experience.
And it's $70 for the gas station hat.
Yeah.
The hat at the Chevron. Shit's $70.
On Bankhead. That.
On Bankhead.
But I like what you
With
said.
a Schlitz. $5.99 with a Schlitz.
Not the slits. Oh shit.
I like what you said when you're saying have reserved billboards or spaces or whatnot for Atlanta local, because when we were chatting before we started the episode, you're talking about like the whole beer space. Breweries do that, and I've seen it more so. I haven't really seen breweries in Atlanta do it, which low-key goes back to your point where Atlanta was just like, we just know your business. So I've seen breweries in other cities exclusively say if they made 1,000 bottles of this beer, it was like 500 is for local only. Like you have to show your ID that you live here and you get to buy it. Anybody else, breweries do that shit. They're like, no. These are the people that live here.
I love it.
These are the people that pump in the money. These are our patrons.
Yeah,
so it's like, no. This beer may be fire, but at least half, if not more, is going to go straight to local. You got to show an ID or you ain't getting it. Period.
That's crazy.
I love that.
But that's on that same vein. It's like, cool. We want business and everything like that. Yeah, but we got to stimulate our own business because we live here.
We're here,
right? So
You're the first
that's
person to pour into your economy.
Exactly.
The tourist would be the second.
Which
exactly
is what I always say about Bame and his ideas about the ecosystem. Like a lot of the Atlanta influences everything. The core of it, Bem Joyner is our spirit animal. Like like his beliefs, his passion, his fire behind his beliefs. Ian is who he is and I'm who I am, but none of it happens if he wasn't who he was.
Yeah, Ian is like the maestro in the dark, so a lot of the visuals, a lot of the
puppet master,
design. Ian is
gotta meet him.
Ian is design and shit
say
like
3
that.
words and that be it. Like
it's like design, the site, just a lot of the visuals and shit like that. That's Ian
and the content. And we humans in New York
content.
That's what Tory
that was my vision. Is like I wanted creatives and entrepreneurs of Atlanta to take on a Humans of New York, like the Humans of New York model for creatives and entrepreneurs, like us to be able to tell our story and have beautiful pictures doing it, and
absolutely,
that's what it's all about, and that's what we're breaking into now. So just operations, just kind of the overall vision, and like business wise, I guess that's where I step in, and just being a dog, just going hard. I'm a dog.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go hard.
I partake in greenery culture, and I go off the ledges. I do
too.
Can't find me,
but somehow I can still color in and outside.
Right.
This motherfucker is like, I'm gonna kill him one day. But I'm always wait till after we get the big check.
Yeah.
Like,
but I did want to end and make sure people had the understanding of what makes the statement true. If you were to debate or feel a way about the name and how we plan to leverage it, it's 3 C's that we say.
There you go.
The person who buys the shirt might feel another way, which you have every right to.
Right.
What justifies the statement is the home of Dr. King, Civics, the home of civil rights movement, Dr. King. Every city doesn't get that big figure. Bob Marley, Gandhi, these big Atlanta got a big figure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So the home of the civil rights movement, Dr. King. So
that's one C.
Yeah.
The second would be one of the most recognizable brands in the world.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, yo. From the same soil.
It's corporate.
And we have a strong chamber. We number 3 for Fortune 500 companies. So the corporate.
Right.
So that's the civic and the corporate, and then the third
brings it all together.
Culture, the home of urban culture.
Outcast.
Yeah. So those 3 buckets are naturally here.
Yeah.
What's interesting is 2 of the 3 buckets skew black.
Absolutely.
So, but the number 1 in income inequality means that something is off. We need to be more intentional.
Yeah.
That's where the innovation is. What we trying to get people to understand is we've been looking in the wrong places to solve these problems, and the innovation is in the corporate linking up with civic engagement and also using the culture to bring it all together. Like that's innovation to solve these fucking problems. Like ain't no reason why we had to reach out and find volunteers to go feed kids at these high schools because they didn't have enough food. If they didn't go to school, they weren't going to eat.
Right.
So we personally, Atlanta Influence Everything, had to help find volunteers to go down to Washington High to feed kids. Or we are sending lunch for the volunteers. Because just because there's so many people who can't eat unless they're at school, these are fucking bullshit problems that could easily be solved if everybody got on the same page. The ecosystem, there was no silos. Like the silos is, I'm not talking to Bane and he's not talking to you. But if we talk, we can solve these fucking problems. And buy the shirt, man. We trying to do some good things, man. We trying to buy the shirt, go on the site, AIE.life, go on the site, buy a shirt, buy a hat, buy something on there. We're gonna do more products, home products, candles, shit like that.
I want to break some bread on that hat right there.
Man,
though. I need that.
Fire, bro.
We don't have any more.
I need that.
But I'll see what I can do. I hate to say that because that sounds so black.
Yeah, I see you ain't never seeing that.
Yo,
Everybody know that.
I gotta start another company just so I can
Fans,
come
if you
back
see the
here.
video, that's the closest you're gonna get.
No,
You can come. It's open door policy. You
Say
can
no
come
more.
back.
Yeah, I definitely want to come back because this is funny as hell.
Awesome.
Because I feel like we're talking so much like Civic and do-gooder shit that we ain't even got to have fun yet. Like we have a serious conversation.
We didn't even talk about Jada and Arkansas Zen.
Man, man, get the fuck out of here with that.
He got Atlanta connection.
Look, bro.
Right.
I feel like never mind. I can go in.
Well, thank you guys.
I don't have an opinion on
we
that.
really appreciate. We really appreciate you guys coming out.
Thanks for
Man, this is a work in progress to get it done.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all for staying on, yo. We happy. And then
I felt bad because we was like, yeah, we're doing it. Then my aunt passed away, and I was like,
Oh, damn, B. I'm sorry.
and I thought y'all was gonna be like, nigga, your aunt passed away. I'm just like, but it was like, damn, we just kept trying to schedule it. I'm glad we got a chance.
This just the first of many connections.
Yeah, definitely.
It won't stop at just the podcast.
Nah,
Y'all come
definitely
back. You know,
Nah, and I think vice versa. I think we need y'all to come with us.
Dennis? We
Come
gonna
out.
do a dinner?
Yeah, we gotta do something.
We need to do something.
no, man. When we get off the air, I need I'm gonna hit y'all up for real.
Well, we're reaching the end of the episode. At the end of every episode, we like to give an ATL salute to somebody in the city that's doing it big, doing something good for the community, or just doing some awesome shit. When we have guests on the podcast, we hand that responsibility over to them. Wow. So, guys, who would you like to give an ATL salute to? You can give out multiple. You can hand them out if you want.
You do
Be
one
like Oprah in this
Because if you just give out one,
you get a
everybody else
shout
will be
out.
like,
You
fuck
get a
you.
shout out.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Are you gonna go?
No, you said.
Well, I'll just say on behalf of Tory, shout out to Auntie though, R.I.P. though.
Yeah, shout out to my Aunt Bubba, man. Rest in peace. Love you.
You know, in that same vein, because this person is no longer here, but their voice is solely needed right now. Hosea Williams.
Yes.
Wow.
There's a lot of leaning on John Lewis. He's still here. Give him his roses while he's still here.
Shout out to Hosea,
But
man.
Hosea is a different character,
Yes, sir.
if you understand.
Yes, sir.
And that voice is one that we're missing. But in terms of those that are here, man, like the homie Ann,
Keithann Powell.
shout out to Tawanna Harris, who just made a fellowship program. Shout out to Daniel, is it Blackman?
Daniel Blackman.
Yeah, what did he win? He's the Public Service Commission.
Yeah, Public Service Commission.
Yeah, so
I believe
he
so.
It's
But
not important enough to know these names.
you trust me.
But they all us. These are all people that would come on here. Obviously, Jasmine Crow with Goodr. Like, if we would have who won COVID in Atlanta, like, she would be one of the people that won. Goodr has delivered at a high level. Ash, Powerhaus.
Ash, shout out to Ash.
Did she drink beer while she was here?
Fahamu, my brother.
I don't know because we were
Weren't that shit she smoked?
Jewel
on that one.
Jewel
Okay,
Burks.
Jewel Burks.
Jewel Burks.
You know, that whole...
Fahamu, Pecou.
Yeah. And the shit, my
Pecou.
homie Tyree with Artlanta.
Definitely.
Just the creative class. Shout out to Rohit and the Center for Civic Innovation. And to take the word out of his mouth, we would like to shout out everybody that with no shout out or with no nothing that's doing the work.
And whoever
Folks out here doing the work.
Whoever that beautiful black queen was that twerked on that MLS championship trophy at Magic City. Whoever you are, we love you, girl. We love you.
Hope you're doing good.
Hope you're doing good.
We rooting for you.
Yeah, just shout out to the city, man, and just the Black Mecca, Atlanta, and the people here in general, man, the creatives and entrepreneurs that's stirring the pot, making things happen. We love all y'all, man. We love y'all.
Good shit, man.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
sure.
On that note, we're going to have one more beer. Is that Peach City by Pontoon?
I mean, we had this last time, but this shit was good. And since y'all,
I'm with it.
Peach
City.
Oh, y'all want to talk about like
First of all,
Atlanta
so-
City shit? Then y'all want to just shoot
so
the
first
shit?
of all, again, shout out to the homies
Shoot the
at
shit
Pontoon. So you see, they got the King Queen buildings in the background.
Oh man, that's hard.
They got the otters, like that's their mascot, an otter. But they got the peaches all around with the Atlanta City background. This actually goes into the other beer because this is one mural that they had, and it goes to another beer.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Like the other beer has a label, and it's the background of that one.
Yeah.
It's
That's hard. I love
And
it.
so this is actually the perfect time to be like, to
I love that.
tell to our viewers that
listeners, we don't.
Viewers, damn.
Shit.
Listener shit.
Well, no, fuck that. I'm calling it into existence.
Yo, y'all viewers.
Almost there, y'all.
Our viewers.
Almost.
We are partnering up with Pontoon to come out with a beer. It's going to be released on July 17th.
Mm-hmm.
Proceeds going to Surge, which is
Love
social.
Surge ATL.
Surge ATL.
Mm-hmm.
And
We'll just put it on the.
What do they do? What is that?
So
Damn, he called you out.
Surge ATL, it stands for.
Explain, nigga. Caught you quick. Caught you quick.
My bad. I like
Showing up for
good give back
racial
story.
justice.
Right, showing up for racial justice.
Okay.
So it's like how I looked at it is like they are a almost, I don't want to call it a parent company, but because they feed into various specific social justice avenues.
Right.
So they have one that goes to the LGBTQ
You got it.
community.
Surge Atlanta seeks to achieve collective liberation by ending white supremacy, recognizing that this can only be accomplished within an intersectional context. We envision a world where all systems of oppression are dismantled and are truly free.
Right. So they feed into your various local programs to fight various, because it's a multifaceted issue.
Absolutely.
You can't just be like, oh well, give them to the NAACP and they're gonna solve everything. Nah, you got to go into Black Lives Matter, but all Black Lives Matter. So you got to get into specific Black lives.
Right.
So that's what they hit on. Like so. Proceeds of our beer that we're doing with Pontoon is going to them.
Love it.
And then, this is going to be a series of collabs, in the next 2 or 3, we need an AIE collab popped off. So,
Holler at us.
So, yeah, we're going to do that.
We're going to even drink it for you on camera, too.
So, yeah, I mean, since
This particular one kind of like was a teaser because this is a regular beer of theirs, but this year the proceeds of this went to NAACP ATL.
I was supposed to go
right,
to the wedding.
this one. It's Peach City joint.
That's what's crazy is
preach.
the levels. So the amount of things that still go to the NAACP and United Negro College Fund, which they are still doing work.
Of course.
But our age group, we are not appeased by somebody giving the NAACP money. If anything, the damn it makes us angrier. Like, you gave who to what? You gave
colored people?
Like, why you give it to the old color? That's what we identify the NAACP, and they still do a lot of good work.
I think it's because we want to know.
There's a lot of young black organizations that are doing the work.
We want to know what they do with the money. That's really like the first question that comes to mind when you do give $2 million got given to the NAACP. It's like, well, what they do with it? That's kind of what we asked.
Man, that's what y'all mentioned before. When y'all were actually giving out. When you see when people see that the Braves gave money to this, it's like cool, but where were y'all? Like, I heard that 2 weeks ago and I still ain't seen shit. I heard a month ago I still ain't seen shit. So yeah. So that was like sort of our idea with this. Is like we wanted to give back to get as local as possible, because that's where it really
So the unique opportunity that exists now, back to your Rogan story, is the leveling the playing field and dealing with systematic racism or systemic. I said systematic.
Same shit.
Automatic.
Semantics.
Is
you ain't on
those
trial,
that are
brother.
doing the work. Like when you look at the platforms that y'all are already on and the 100th episode, the leveling of the playing field that's happening right now that wasn't happening 2 months ago. There are certain things that can happen for a show like yours and just where y'all are trying to take it.
Mm-hmm.
All in the name of diversity and trying to fix things. Now, how you handle that would make it, if you handle it a certain way, it's a handout. But if you handle it another way, it's a hand up. And a lot of the work that we're all trying to do as black folks is more of the hand up work, which is trying to level the playing field. And a friend of mine said, like, yeah, the reality, I don't have a problem with the white person saying white power. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're keeping me down with that. But if I'm saying black power and I got equal money, and you just saying white power and I'm saying black power, but I'm eating because you're not holding me back from some other systemic thing you're doing behind the scenes. Shit, say white power all day.
But that's the problem with that.
That ain't the case.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
That ain't the case. Number one, number two, but them saying white power literally means that, like it
to keep you down.
Yeah, like
to keep
literally means
and that's like, I mean, we can go on in a whole nother
especially this space
episode here about that. But to touch on it real quick is that when people say white power in America, they're literally talking about because they're white. There's no pride in any type of culture.
No,
you got folks from other European countries. They're like, I'm from this, that, and the other. White power means, I'm glad to be white, so fuck you.
Which brings me to a question. Like, I want to ask y'all a question.
Go ahead. Get into it.
We do this all the time, right? What does a white man in Atlanta look like?
Oh, fuck.
Like, what
from a brand perspective?
From a brand perspective, if you could say, if you went to LA and you saw a group of white guys, would you be able to pick the Atlanta white guy out of the crowd?
No, because he lives in Peachtree City.
Damn.
Yeah. No.
But who's the
There's
Atlanta white man?
Kind of white guys in Atlanta.
Who's the
EAV?
That would be the closest.
And think in terms of a content.
You
perspective.
said
like if you were filming a movie,
what I said to him.
You needed
the only white man in Atlanta to me that has some sort of identity is EAV white guys, and a lot of them work in the film industry, and they're not from fucking Atlanta.
Right.
Like they're fresh face here. A lot of them.
Because I mean, like that whole. So when we have jokes about the cats you see on either EAV or a little 5 points. The non-black folks on there.
The little hippies.
Yeah, right. But that isn't Atlanta though. I wouldn't say that if I saw them elsewhere, I wouldn't say that. Oh, yeah, they're clear from Atlanta. You would say they're from LA. You would say this from Frisco.
You couldn't distinguish.
Right. You wouldn't say, oh yeah, this person is definitely from Atlanta.
So you're saying white people in Atlanta have no brand?
If you take the Migos,
they don't.
Not really.
If you take the Migos and fucking Dave East, you know Dave East from New York. You know the Migos is from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Or they from Georgia. You know that
just the way they hold off of presentation.
Lil Baby,
Lil Baby is from Atlanta.
Off of presentation, swag,
you already
dialect,
2 Chainz,
T.I. I mean, like,
T.I.
we go down the whole gambit.
Yeah,
right?
it's like
2 Chainz, Southside.
But we have this conversation. So older, and I don't know if I ever told Tory this. The first time I ever drilled down like that was talking to an older white guy that was working with HBO, and we were talking about Chicago PD, Chicago Fire,
There's a whole
all of the NY, all of the NCIS, New Orleans, and I asked about Atlanta, why Atlanta doesn't have these media shows, and the old white guy told me he was the first one to say that. Well, what's the brand of Atlanta? And I don't. Besides black, and I think there's something there with black. But if we were to tell an Atlanta story, what is a white person in Atlanta? If I'm looking at a TV show and I'm somewhere else, and it's no black people in it, but it's about Atlanta, what makes it? Versus that white person could be from Nashville. Yeah. Like what? Why? It's just a Southern white person.
Right. There is no Atlanta white person. There's a Georgia white person.
Yeah. To a certain
There's a Georgia black person, but there's a Georgia.
But you can mix the Georgia white person up with an Alabama white person.
Exactly.
It's just a Southern.
You're not gonna do that with blacks.
Right. White people. I think the thing is, a white male doesn't need a look because they don't need that look to get ahead. They're just white. so they get indoors.
But in the media, like if you were doing a show around,
well, yeah, but what I'm saying is like they're everywhere. All the types
but
of
a New
white
Orleans,
people.
but a Louisiana white person has a brand.
No. The most, to me, the most distinguishable white male is the Nashville guy. He's gonna, he's from fucking Nashville, or maybe you might confuse him with Texas, but pretty much, if you say what does a guy in Nashville look like, what does
Texas got white brand?
But if you say it,
like you said,
well, I guess my point is all of them could be interchangeable in one form or another. But if I say, what does a white guy in Nashville look like? You'll be like,
I got an idea.
Levi's,
probably got a
big belt. He got the cowboy boots on,
denim button up. Like,
you're not gonna say that in Atlanta. It's like, I don't know. He's white.
It's like a Georgia Tech frat boy.
Yeah.
But that Georgia Tech frat boy look. Is that the University of Maryland or
exactly? That
it's
ain't
just
Atlanta. Right.
So we have this conversation in terms of gentrifying black out of Atlanta. What is Atlanta? Be careful on what you're doing.
All right, for instance, Bame has two friends, and they're both friends of mine at this point, right? One is from one side of the white tracks, and the other one used to be his roommate. So one's on one side of the white tracks. The other's from the other side of the white tracks. Bame assumed that when he introduced them,
they would just link.
They would. We're white.
Wow, you did what they do to us. You're like, yo, you're gonna love my friend. He's from Georgia.
You done introduced a Nickelback fan to a Pantera fan or something.
You gotta meet Tyrone. He's he's from.
He loves fry. He loves all kinds of cuisine, Southern cuisine.
Yo, Babe got some stories, but they did not like each other. That was the funny thing. He was baffled as fuck. Yeah. Like, what happened? Like, they're white. No, dummy.
Keep up like Ultron. Right. Yeah.
But it was like it was like they didn't like each other for some white shit that we would never see.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It's like we would never notice. Like, damn, we just. So you can't even get mad at white people when they're like, I mean, he's a black guy. You know. Don't you guys?
One was from Noonan, Georgia, and had that, and my other roommate was Piedmont Driving Club. You know that? Nah. Atlanta's like top tier country club where the top 10% go. So that's where
we don't even know that shit exists.
You should have known.
Yeah, I didn't know.
No, nigga.
Yo,
they was both in
white people in Atlanta.
Yo, man got some stories.
That's not even an Atlanta thing. Like that's the crazy thing. Like your middle
Buckhead and EAV.
Damn, is it that far?
Not that far.
It's probably that far.
Your middle or lower class white people don't even understand that.
But this white boy from Noonan comes from acreage, so he got money, and he worked for Cushman Wakefield. He was on some money shit, so. And it wasn't just that they was white. There was two white boys that was both cool with me that was getting to the paper. Yeah.
So it's still different. There's still some classism there too.
Yeah.
There's just some different shit. Like, because I work with a lot of guys in the film industry. Like, I work with a lot of guys from Noonan, and they're different. They're different than a lot of.
How so?
I'd rather not say while the microphone's on.
I had an old boss who, he was low-key racist. But
low-key.
Which means high-key.
Interesting.
But it means he liked them. That means he kind of liked them maybe a little bit.
So you were a good one.
You a couple
right.
You were a good one.
He was the good one.
But then
good white folks.
But then a white woman came in the store, and I had never saw him act so nasty to a customer. This is a store
was the problem?
in Atlanta. He saw them as white trash.
Yep.
Wow.
And the
Classism.
store.
Did he tell you that later, or you just?
No, he told me that.
Wow.
Our demographic was normally black customers, black women, church women.
But they're a different kind of black.
Derek J would come in from time to time and buy
Derek is
shit. What's his name?
Derek is Derek.
There's a few other people that have come through those doors, but
He's
we
far
would
from
always
white
have
trash.
conversations, and when I have conversations with him, I make him realize things, and we've had that
Right.
kind of relationship. But when I saw that, I was just like, oh, you just hate everybody.
Right, equal opportunity.
Yeah,
Right.
Equal
No,
opportunity.
classism is a motherfucker, man.
yeah.
And Atlanta deals with that on a black level,
Oh yeah.
which we just had a conversation in the car just about the rich white person observing the black on black classism in Atlanta and where they sit in it as a rich white person and how they feel about their perception of all of the Morehouse Spellman or the rappers with the Maseratis and whatever, and then looking at lower income black. And then as a white person, what their role in all of this is. You know.
But it's funny because that person looks at, like, what do you call it? Accomplished blacks, black people with money, like they should be cleaning this up. They should, but y'all didn't clean y'all shit up. Y'all just built a system that says if you got money, you're great.
Yeah.
And if you don't have money, if you're at least white, you're cool, right?
You can make it to the top.
You can't. You have a chance.
Yeah.
Do the bootstraps.
Yeah.
Right. Bootstraps, yeah. But you get the boots.
Yeah, you get the boots.
And, but you got to buy the straps.
Yeah.
But black people, you don't get no fucking boots.
Still got to put yourself on your bootstraps, but you don't get it.
I don't give a goddamn if you steal the goddamn boots.
Oh, no, we care if you steal it.
Right. If you get caught, we gonna string you up.
That mindset is
String you up.
that mindset is like low key the same as like these gaslighters that always talk about black on black crime.
All right, so
That's the same thing.
I gotta pause.
You should be mad about that. You should try to fix that first before you fix us.
Let
No.
me stop you, right? Because I've been hearing the word gaslighting for so long, and I've never actually paused and got a clear understanding of what it means. I think I know, but I need to be sure. So now it's becoming popular. So what is gaslighting?
Adding fuel to the fire.
Motherfucker.
It makes sense.
Yo, that's
You
the
see
best. You know, that's the best explanation I've heard. Because each one
it was
leaves me baffled.
Clear to the point. He went straight to the.
People always try to say,
That's
"Oh,
what I
well,
need. I'm that person.
you know, it's you gotta bring in some psychology terms or whatever." It's like no, gassing shit up,
Right.
adding fuel to the fire. It's like
Our last guess the race. The I guess he was gaslighting the whole movement by trying to light the car on fire, but
Right.
right. The white guy who
white guy got arrested. He was caught in Brookhaven area, trying to set a cop car on fire at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
Just rando by himself?
Rando
That's
by
what I'm saying.
himself.
See, if you didn't want
He got locked up because the cop was just like,
what are you doing? What the fuck is wrong? First of all, you're at Brookhaven. You wanted to get away with this shit. Go to Eastlake, dummy.
One thing
Right.
history has taught us is that white people love fire, especially when they're pissed. Anyway, that's
You don't say.
Wow.
I just
Wow.
but it's just adding fuel to the fire and also deflecting too.
Absolutely.
It's just like no. I'm directing the issue at you. Why are you literally deflecting it back at me? It's like, well, before you try to fix the wrongdoing that I'm doing, you should fix the wrongdoing that I didn't say you're doing. It's like, nah. That's not
Great
that's not what's
mind
going
fuck
now.
here.
That's like
black on black crime.
there you go. Black, which is fucking
just
crime. Like murder, black on black crime, all of that shit is
Dumbest shit
about
ever,
proximity. It's not about
That's literally what it
genetics. It's not about color.
Most white people get killed by other
White
people. Like,
So
come on now.
How come
I
I've
feel
never
so-
heard white on white crime before?
Right.
Yeah, I feel so bad about the 8-year-old girl that was just murdered.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. I want
it's-
something to happen to the people that did that.
Absolutely. I feel like it's plastered on the news though to create that narrative, that black
Of
on black
course.
crime.
You saw the father. We were talking about the father's statement.
I didn't
Me and
like
my wife,
that.
we were talking about it, and she already knew how I felt, and she was like,
He needed
put the father
to.
up there.
So I met Rashard Brooks's lawyer and family at City Hall last week. Now, obviously, that case is older. The situation is older than the 8-year-old girl. And who am I to tell the father how to mourn and what he says? But what I liked about the Rashard Brooks family when they were at City Hall for their proclamation, they had a team at this point. 2 lawyers and a couple other people. And before they went up to the microphone, the lawyer had the family, lawyer like our age, had the family in the corner. Hey, because one of the cousins that was going to accept the plaque, he looked like a T.I. He looked hood. Like,
Yeah.
But the lawyer was like, all right, you're going to go up there, get the plaque.
Put him on game.
You know, that the father of the 8-year-old didn't have... So when he got up there and said, you know, y'all talking about Black Lives Matter, but you killed your own. He said something about pants sagging and everything, man. And it's like, damn, yo, oh my God. But how can I tell the man?
Exactly. Because that's the thing. What the opposing team, whenever it comes to social issues and stuff like that, I always think about superhero movies and shows that for some reason everybody loves, but when it comes to reality, it's different. The bad guy always has the upper hand. It's always on their field, so on and so forth. And when you have situations like civil rights, we always feel like we have to do 150% just for it to be equal, in a sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of, to me, a sense where they had the perfect person that they could use. Not saying that that's exactly what happened, but with it being all over the news right now and what was said, all we're saying is that wrong is wrong. It doesn't mean that if black people do wrong, then that means cops can do wrong too. It's wrong is wrong. Just lock them both up.
It should be that logical. It should be
crazy.
It makes too much sense. You know?
It is nuts.
And then when you look at the National Guard being called in,
Yep.
so the white people now are trying to use this stuff as fodder.
It's crazy. I'm terrified of what next week and the week after is going to look like. It's going to be nuts.
Let me tell you something. If you live in the city of Atlanta right now, it's about to be crunk.
Tell them about your one bullet man.
Oh, yeah. I just seen a dude the other night. I was by a friend's house, and I could hear a dude saying, I just got one more bullet in this motherfucker. I got one more bullet. One more.
Shit.
Y'all gonna make me use this motherfucker. And then he was backing up. We couldn't see him. And when he backed up to the point where he was in our eyesight, he was walking down the street in Southwest Atlanta with a rifle. It was like 9 o'clock at night. But shit like this happens over there constantly. But it was just like, now it's just,
it's something in the air now.
There's something in the air. It's a tension that where people
between
just
COVID and
it's between COVID, the uncertainty, and these people these aren't the people who's like, I'm waiting on my unemployment.
Yeah.
What employment? These people is just, I'm hustling. It's a different kind of environment, but it's an uncertainty for everybody. So everybody is tripping.
Folks are literally fed up.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Literally
You can feel it in the air, man.
We are now without our pacifiers. All our entertainment and the things that we do to keep our minds off things, it has been reduced to being inside with TV. And the TV is feeding us the news that we don't want to see.
And your family.
And the phones.
Exactly, and the phones. But yeah, it's real out here.
The dope boy's doing good because niggas need it.
Yeah, they're doing well. Anyway,
we gonna see. But outside of that, no, we gonna pop off with something like something new. In general, out of all of this, 2020 has been a hell of a year.
Word.
We halfway in. I think a lot of good is gonna come out. I mean, it's gonna be like literally old school Atlanta, rise from the ashes.
Man,
like shit's really gonna pop off this year.
Well, we want to include y'all. One as
gone.
It's gonna. I don't play.
He smashed that joint, man.
I don't.
You want something?
I told you I wasn't gonna embarrass L. You wasn't gonna tell him that I can't.
Came and drank.
Yeah. Now we y'all really like this shit?
Worst case scenario, y'all are just invitees to something, hanging out, not working.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, we're gonna partner on something. But
for sure.
We want y'all to just be where we at. Like let's
Absolutely.
Let's figure out how to. The one thing about our business model that's very unique, and I think at times it could hurt us financially until it fully connects, is when we did that AJC article that we were in about Atlanta creatives with Fahamu and a bunch of other people. Mm-hmm. One thing in that story we realized, aside from all the other dope people in the article, is that our growth as a brand and our success versus Fahamu selling art or whatever, our success because of our name literally depends on your success. The more art Fahamu sells, the stronger his brand is. What you guys do, what everybody does, helps prove the point that we're saying. So therefore, we get to sell more.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But right now, what's interesting is Atlanta looks chaotic. It doesn't look currently, right now, today, like it influences everything.
Right.
So I'm concerned. I don't feel as comfortable. If it's a new normal, if you look at when we were established as AIE, we were established in the old normal.
Right.
And if it's a new normal, then it's not a given that Atlanta influences everything in the new normal.
Right.
We've got some fucking work to do to ensure.
You got to evolve.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Yikes.
Well, we're going to be here for it. We're going to be here for it.
Absolutely. Well, anyway, I'm probably going to add all that in there if y'all don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, we out. Peace.
Everything is still rolling? All my journalist friends have given me hey, man, bang, ramble a lot.
What up, people? We're taking a break to tell you about our first beer collaboration.
Let's go.
With Pontoon Brewing called Plot, Plan, Strategize, Organize, Mobilize.
Pops them.
Myra, what kind of beer is it?
This is going to be a fruited Berliner Weiss with peach tea. Berliner Weiss. You know, we're keeping it southern down here in the dirty. This beer is a part of a longer series called Brewing Conversations. It's going to be about inclusion with everybody of all color, race, creed, whatnot into the industry.
So it's a summer beer.
Yeah, it's a summer beer.
Got you.
Follow us on social media so you can know more about the beer. We have a release date for July 17th.
Yep.
You can also order the beer on Craft Cellar.
And we'll be there.
Hopefully, masked up. We will be there with masks.
Mask on.
If you like that episode and you want to hear more of the Atlanta podcast, you can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify,
Google Play.
We're on Google Play?
Yep.
We're on Google Play.
Oh, shit.
And
Wait a minute, do you have a... Oh,
also...
yeah, you don't have an iPhone. My bad.
Ooh.
Everybody doesn't have an iPhone, gentlemen.
Yeah, you're right. Only the people that matter.
Well, whatever you're using, help us out. Leave a review.
Support.
Give us some stars. However the fuck they do it on whatever you're listening. And
Thumbs up.
follow us on Instagram.
Yes, please.
We have quite the following. You get some exclusive content on there.
Videos from my
We have
shitty
our own Instagram
phone.
thought, Justin.
Yeah, we got an Instagram thought. Justin.
I be thotting.
Follow us at The Atlanta Podcast. See you next time.
Peace.